welcome in, everyone. I'm Greg Screws, but I'm just going to tell you, with the lineup we have today, just go ahead and forget my name right now because you're not going to need it. Welcome to the Swamp-A-Thon. This is one of the coolest things that's been organized that I've seen in a long time. This is a great effort to benefit Muscle Shoals Sound, and I've got Judy Hood, the chair of Muscle Shoals Music Foundation. We got a lot of folks here. David Hood's here, Patterson Hood's here. We're going to introduce you to a lot of other folks as well. But Judy, first of all, because I'm going to do this now because I'll forget it because we're going to be here for a while. Just thank you for calling me be involved in this because this is a major geek out factor for me, and I'm just trying to not sweat and embarrass myself in front of a bunch of famous people. But tell people why we're here and what the effort is that's so important today, because folks are already, we've just started and folks have already jumped in on this big time.
Yeah, we've had a lot of action on our silent auction this morning already, and I just want to thank everybody for tuning into the live stream. And the reason we're doing this is, like most other entities, COVID hit us very hard, and we took it on the chin financially. We had to close this studio completely for 3 months because to keep people safe, and tours are our bread and butter and merch. So that really hurt us. And then when we opened back up, we were still just at 85%. We've lost 85% of our income. But things are looking up now. I mean, we're doing tours again, and we've done a little recording. And our studio is open for private events if anybody ever wants to do that. You might even get, some people call me the Swampette, and I'll even marry you right here in this studio.
And Judy, Judy is on the silent auction. There are wedding packages that you can bid on the silent auction, which we're going to mention later.
Yeah.
So people, you can have you marry them.
Yeah, I'm on the auction block. I didn't know we were going to do that. The staff gave me the list, and I said, "What's up with this?" And they're like, "You're going to do 3 weddings. You're giving away 3 weddings." So somebody could buy them. I'll marry 3 couples together. It'll be fun. Chase, I want to introduce our staff. Chase Brandon is our house engineer, and he's also a tour guide here. Tony Brooks is a tour guide. Katie Wilson is a merchandise specialist for the studio. Anna Hyde is the studio manager. And Debbie Wilson, the one and only, is the executive director of the foundation. Terrell Benton does tour guides, and he's also a walking history book of Muscle Shoals music, really of music in general. So those are our great staff here, and this thing didn't just happen all by itself. All I know to do is run my mouth, and these people actually work.
Yeah.
So
that's the way it works at the TV
really
station too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just show up and talk. But we have you talk about important people to make it work. Sponsors.
Yes.
We got a lot of sponsors involved here.
We
to make this
do,
work
and I have to. Our platinum sponsor, huge shout out to Bill Lyons with Lyons HR. They came on as our platinum sponsor. Bill's a musician himself, so he has a soft spot in his heart for Muscle Shoals music and all that was done here. And you want to tell him a little bit about his company?
Yeah, absolutely. Lyons HR, our platinum sponsors, you heard Judy mention, and we appreciate their commitment to supporting music in the Shoals. Lyons HR, a professional employer organization headquartered in Florence with operation centers throughout the Southeast. Lyons HR saves companies time and money by handling the administrative burdens of running a business. They have trusted experts in payroll services, employee benefits, risk management, and HR compliance. Their website, lyonshr.com. But Lyons, it's LYONSHR.com. Platinum sponsor for the Swamp-A-Thon today.
Yes, hooray for Bill Lyons.
Absolutely. And some other ones? You want to go through those?
Yeah, Bank Independent, they're always so great with our community, but they've been particularly good to work with us at the studio, particularly during COVID when we were applying for various grants and the PPP and the things that people were doing to survive. They were there for us, and they're always here for us, and they came on as a major sponsor today. City of Sheffield, where this studio is located, is a sponsor, as is Muscle Shoals. The city of Muscle Shoals, and I think the mayor of Muscle Shoals is going to join us in a bit.
And Muscle Shoals National Heritage Foundation, Florence Lauderdale Tourism, Bill Alexander, State Farm Agent, Steve Pierce, State Farm Agent, Marriott Shoals Hotel and Spa, Champy's Chicken, Kenneth and Tony Brooks, and Southern package store. All folks very important here, and one of the things you're going to hear, you know, we have working musicians around us. So as we do this throughout the day, you're going to hear things. You're going to hear guitars being tuned, and you're going to hear things throughout the day. So just, you know, we're going to get to live music in just a second, I promise, and we're going to have that throughout the day. We got some great stuff planned for you. And the silent auction.
We have an amazing silent
Oh,
auction.
I do.
We've got David Hood donated a bass.
Yes.
That he's autographed, and he'll personalize that, which is extremely rare. We've been married 34 years, and he's never sold a bass or parted with a bass. So that's how much he loves this studio. So go online and have a look at that. Jason Isbell donated a Telecaster, and we have trips trips to Clarksdale.
Ground Zero Blues Club.
Yeah, to the Blues Club. We have Shoals Fest tickets. We have a Natalie Channing shirt. I just have to show you this.
And if you're wondering, you know, if you're watching this, the links for the silent auction on the you can get there with the Muscle Shoals Sound Facebook page. That's where the link for the silent auction is. And this is an example. Tell me about this, because this is really unique.
Yeah, this is, of course, you know, all of her stuff is so beautiful, and she donated this to us for the auction, and I might walk off with it. I don't know, because I really do like it, but it retails for $500. But hopefully go online and bid, and then you can actually wear a Natalie Channing piece and feel really swanky, you know.
And there's a tour jacket from the Drive-By Truckers that Patterson has signed, and there's just a lot of great things on the silent auction. But again, you know, the bass that David Hood signed and the guitar that Jason has signed, obviously getting a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And folks have been weighing in on that for a pretty good amount of time now.
Yeah, I got a lot of instant messaging this morning, so I'm glad people are excited about it, because David's excited to help.
Absolutely. Some of the background studio, some of the stuff that we're having. Gary Baker's here, Jerry Phillips, Jay Buchanan. You're gonna see a video from them. And before we get to our first act, with basically the Muscle Shoals All Stars with David and Kelvin Holly, Patterson Hood, Spooner's here, Will McFarland and Justin Holder. But I'd mentioned to Judy, and Judy said, go ahead and make the point. The one thing about this is Field of Dreams is one of my favorite movies, and there's a scene in Field of Dreams where James Earl Jones says you can chart the country by what happened by baseball. You know, what was going on, you know, in baseball, you could chart the country by. Well, the thing about here that strikes me is the music that came out of here. Skinner, Rod Stewart, Seeger, all these people that came out of here, people have heard this on the way to high school. I heard Freebird for the first time when I was in high school. People going to weddings, going to births, going to divorces, going to, you know, whatever was going on in their lives, they were listening to music that came out of there. This is in our DNA, and it was created in this building. I told them last night at work, I said, yesterday, I got to watch Spooner, Patterson, David, Kelvin, and Jerry do Wild Horses in the building the Stones recorded it in. That's a religious experience, and it's the music that comes out of here. And that's what we're doing here with Swamp-A-Thon today.
Yep. A lot of magic in this room, and our goal is to preserve it. The Muscle Shoals Music Foundation is a 501c3, and our goal and our mission is to celebrate the legendary music that came out of Muscle Shoals, and also to sustain the sound. And that's what these funds today will help us do. Absolutely.
And again, the silent auction link, if you go to Muscle Shoals Sound Facebook page, it's there. There's a lot of information about the silent auction items, and also to donate, that number, if you want to call directly, 256-978-5151. 256-978-5151. If you don't have a pen with you, I'm going to be giving that number till you're probably going to have it ringing in your head when you go to sleep tonight, so don't worry about that. So do we want to do some music, Judy?
Yeah.
Absolutely. You guys ready to go over there? All right, let's go. Let's kick it over to our all-stars.
Patterson Hood.
There you go.
Throw down. Patterson came all the way from Portland.
Absolutely.
To help us with this today.
Put your hand on your mouth when you talk, that'll help the solution. Cuss around women you don't even know their names. Dumb enough to think that it makes you a big old man. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, ain't nobody gonna give a good. Nah, 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 nah. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. All right. This is the first time I've gotten to play with real living, breathing musicians in 15 months. And so I'm just so excited to be here in the legendary 3614 Jackson Highway building, Muscle Shoals Sound, the original. And so I appreciate y'all inviting me to be here. And all of you watching at home or wherever you may be, make sure you donate money to keep this incredible piece of history living and breathing and operating and moving into the future, because who knows what amazing hit will be recorded here next. Speaking of which, this song was recorded in here back around, I think, 1976 by the great Bob Seger with the Muscle Shoals rhythm section. And great Pete Carr played that legendary, iconic guitar part. And so this is off of the Night Moves album, Main Street. Remember standing on the corner at midnight, trying to get my courage up. There was a long, lonely dancer in the club downtown. I loved to watch her do her stuff. The lonely nights, they fill my sleep. The body softly swaying to that smoky beat down on Main Street. Through the gates, well, I just stand outside at closing time, just to watch her walk on past. Like those other ladies, she looks so young and sweet. She made her way along that empty street down on Main Street. Down on Main Street. once upon a time, just a few months after this place opened the doors in 1969, this band from England came to town and for about 3 days and recorded 3 of the greatest rock and roll songs of all time. And I don't know if anybody remembers them or not, but they were called the Rolling Stones, and they were kind of a big deal for a while, and for about, I don't know, about 2/3 of a century or so. And so at any rate, they finished writing this song in here and then recorded it that night. And so we're going to try to do Wild Horses for you. Childhood living, it's easy to do. The things you wanted, I brought them for you. Graceless lady, you know who I am. I know I can't let you slide through my hands. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. Watched you suffer, a dull aching pain, and now you've decided to show me the same. No sweeping exits, or off-stage lines could make me feel bitter. I'll treat you unkind. Horses couldn't drag me away. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. don't have much time. Faith has broken. Tears must be cried. And let's do some living after we die. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. Wild, wild horses, we'll ride them someday. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. Wild, wild horses, we'll ride them someday. Well, thank y'all. Years ago, I play in a band called Drive-By Truckers, and of course I grew up in the Shoals area, so I grew up around all these amazing people doing all these incredible things, and I was lucky enough a few years back in around 2007, I got to spend some time playing with Spooner Oldham, and he basically was in our band for a year, and it was the most wonderful experience. And we went all over the country together, and we made an album together. And this is a song I'd been working on for a real long time that I just couldn't seem to figure out how to finish and or quite what to do with it. And one day when we were rehearsing for our first tour we did together, I pulled this song out, and when Spooner sat down and started playing it, it all just magically happened. And so we recorded it, and it's called "Daddy Needs a Drink." Daddy needs a drink to deal with all the beauty, to deal with all the madness, to keep from blowing up. Daddy needs a drink to calm down the badness, to instigate the gladness on the fullness of his heart. Daddy needs a drink to keep the wheels from rubbing, to compensate for nothing or nothing going on. Daddy needs a drink, so mama fix one quick. Pour it nice and strong with your clean outfit on. Daddy needs a drink, so mama fix one quick. Pour it nice and strong with your clean outfit on. demons to hear through baby screaming or the TV set turned on. And nothing on the radio like the wave my transmitter's on. Put that drinking jacket on and enjoy a little fun. Daddy needs a drink, so mama fix one quick. Pour it nice and strong with your cleaning outfit on. Daddy needs a drink, so mama fix one quick. Pour it nice and strong with your cleaning outfit on.
Now you're getting me a drink. Get Daddy a drink.
Yeah. Well, I've got some coffee. Y'all, it's been such an honor to get to play with these just magnificent. So one of the guitar players that was playing lead guitar around here when this place first opened up was Dwayne Allman, and of course he ended up playing on that Boz Scaggs record and played on the legendary Loan Me a Dime that was recorded in this room in the fall of 1969. And another guitar player on that same album was Eddie Hinton, who was also an amazing songwriter and singer and just a great artist in his own right, as well as just a fine, excellent guitar player, session player. And this next song we're going to do is, I've always been convinced was like one of those, so many great big hit records came out of this room. But that song, this next song we're going to do, wasn't a hit. In fact, very few people even knew of the song in Eddie's lifetime. And my band recorded a version of it back in, we put it out in 2011 on the Go-Go Boots album. And it was a single, and we were, it got a little bit of traction, and it was getting some play on XM and Sirius Radio. And one day, David Letterman was driving down the road and heard the song, and ended up booking us to play on his show, and because of it, and because he thought it was just one of the most amazing songs he had ever heard, and couldn't understand why it wasn't some kind of a huge hit or something. So we're gonna end this little set with a great Eddie Hinton song that should have been a hit, and it's called "Everybody Needs Love." So y'all back home, everybody sing along with it.
Yeah, a little bit to that person. Paul Schiffer called me after y'all did it on the TV show. And he said, did I have any additional recordings or anything of that song? He said David Letterman got obsessed with everything about that song.
It's such a great song.
I didn't have anything to offer.
So thank you, David Letterman, out there, for spreading the word about Eddie Hinton. Hey, y'all, let him start. Y'all kick it. Y'all kick it, because it's different key. the setting of the sun and the stars we can wish upon when the working day is done. Moonbeams we can dream on, have our troubles on the run. But more than these miracles above, good people, we need love. Everybody needs a love, love, love. Everybody needs a love, 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 love. Everybody needs a love, love, love. 'Cause they need the sun and moon and stars up above. Oh yeah, y'all take it a little bit. Ain't nobody ever found happiness living their lives all alone. Used to walk around like I didn't need nobody. Made me happy and belong. One fine day, found myself in trouble, way down in the deep. Long came the love of a real fine woman. Says she loved me till the end. Everybody needs a love, love, love. Everybody needs a love, love, love. Everybody needs a love, love, love. Just like they need the sun and moon and stars up above. Yeah. Everybody needs a love, love, love. Everybody needs a love, 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 love. Everybody needs a love, love, love. Just like they need the sun and moon and stars up above. Everybody needs a love, love, love. Everybody needs a love. Everybody, everybody. Just like they need the sun and moon and stars up above, they need love. Everybody, everybody needs a love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Play great, Eddie Hinton.
That's pretty serious on a Saturday afternoon, isn't it?
What
Whoa, it
about
makes
you? Does
me
it
want
make you
to
wanna
empty
give
my bank
money,
account.
please? Speaking of giving money, the links to the auction and to donate are in our Facebook live stream newsfeed. So we're trying to make it easy for you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We've got the one and only Rodney Hall here. He is the big shot at Fame. He's Rick Hall's son, and he's the CEO of Fame Recording Studio.
And on the board here.
He's on the board here. In fact, the most important board member here because Rodney rescued this studio. It was privately owned, and he worked his magic, and actually got up the money to buy it and then formed a foundation so that it could be a nonprofit so that those 74,000 people who come here since then could come in here and stand in this room.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Judy. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Tell us why this is such an important. Remind people that are watching on the live stream why this is such an important effort.
Well, the whole Muscle Shoals movement is one of the greatest in music history, and this building in particular was a huge part of that. And the Muscle Shoals Music Foundation was created to promote that and to promote the area and to promote the music. And so proud and honored to be a part of it still. And these guys do a great job over here, and we just need to keep it going.
And one of the most over-asked questions ever about this area, and we'll get into. I'm going to warn these guys. We'll ask them about it at some point. What is it about? What is it? What's the thing, the linchpin that made this what it is?
Muscle Shoals. Well, Muscle Shoals is made because of the people. These buildings they're great. It's cool to sit in here, and the vibe is awesome. But the people, the musicians, the engineers, the producers, the songwriters, just the whole community, the background singers. I mean, it's just a community of people that came together and made an amazing movement happen.
And there's a way you can help too. The silent auction you can help. The link to donate is on the live stream. Also, the number 978-5151.
There we go. That's right. Just call and make your big. And no donation is too small. We want to emphasize that. We have like 90,000 Facebook followers, and if each of you gave $1, we could do some serious work around here. So, but by the same token, no donation is too high either. So, so just keep both of those in mind. We just want to help keep this dream alive for you, the people who love music, and for us who like to support the people that make it.
Absolutely. And give us a sense of, like, when you travel and you tell people you're from here and who you are and the connection, what reaction do you get?
It's funny. It used to be I would hope somebody would have heard of it, but now it's the rule. It's everyone I meet that are music fans. Just about everyone I meet now knows Muscle Shoals. But I live in Florence. If I tell them I'm from Florence, they don't. So when I say Florence when I'm incognito.
There you go. That works. But it's such an important effort, and there's again, we're making it as easy as we possibly can. As Judy said, it's your 10, somebody else's 10, and somebody else's $10 down the road. But as she said, nothing can be too big either. We like big checks as well.
Absolutely.
Speaking of big checks, Bill Lyons came on in a big way to support us in Lyons HR for this event, and we cannot thank him enough. You'll be hearing his name a lot today.
Absolutely. We want to run through that. Do you want to run through the sponsors again real quick?
Yeah.
All right, very good. Let me borrow your mic, and I'll do that. And again, she's talking about the sponsors there. The sponsor shout-outs, Lyons HR, proud to be a platinum sponsor of Swamp-A-Thon. Bill Lyons, thrilled to be part of today's event. Lyons HR handles all aspects of payroll services from payroll processing, employment timekeeping systems, tax issues, credited by the IRS and accredited by the Employer Services Assurance Corporations. Lyons HR, the top 5% of professional employer organizations throughout the country. LyonsHR.com, and that is LYONSHR.com.
All right, and we'll be talking more about our other sponsors later. And Rodney, is on the Muscle Shoals Music Foundation board. He was the chair that founded the whole thing. And Jerry Phillips is also going to be performing next, as a matter of fact, and he's also on the board. And later,
he was one of the founding members. It was me, him, and Wally Bernard.
really?
We had to have three.
Okay,
We had to have three to even put it together. Yeah, so
All right.
Jerry was very instrumental.
Quite the
in beginning.
trio there,
Yeah.
Rodney. That's cool.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, well, apparently it was. You got some important stuff done. But anyway, Jerry Phillips is going to be up next. Of course, he's the son of Sam Phillips, and Jerry's done so many amazing things in his career.
We're all sons of something.
Yeah, I reckon we are. I've heard that. In any event, he'll be up next. But Rodney, tell us what's going on at Fame. I heard a piano came home.
It did. So the piano that was in the studio from 1962 to 1969 has been gone for 35 years, and it's been various places. My brother had it for a while. I think Don Daly, who worked for us, had it for a while, and it was sold. And my mom bought it back, and so she's had it for 35 years at her house. So, but this piano played on Aretha Franklin's first hit record. It played on Mustang Sally, Wilson Pickett, Otis Redding, Lou Rawls, Little Richard, Candy Staten, Clarence Carter, on and on, on and on. The first 10 years, I mean,
Yeah,
all the stuff that,
right.
that David and Roger and Barry and Jimmy played on over there as well. So yeah, it came back, and now we have four of the original instruments in the studio. And
what are your tour hours at Fame?
we do Monday through Friday. We do a 9 a.m. tour and a 4 p.m. tour, and then we have sessions in the middle of that. And then on Saturdays it's 10 to 2 or 10 to 3. I'm sorry, we just expanded our hours 10 to 3.
Okay. Better hire an extra
Yeah,
person.
exactly. I better let them know.
And Rodney and I had an exciting experience just before COVID hit, really. It was last January, wasn't it? We went over to Atlanta,
yes.
and they invited us to see the taping of the the Fame scene from the Aretha Franklin movie that comes out August 13th.
August 13th.
And it was more fun to be there and see the actor that was playing David Hood.
Yeah.
And the actor that's playing Spooner Oldham is a dead ringer.
He was.
You know.
He was. Yeah, that was awesome to watch.
Yeah,
that.
and the actor that's playing Rick Hall is actually from Russellville.
Yeah.
And he got such a kick out of hanging out with Rodney and Linda because he's Rick Hall for the purposes of this. So
Yeah.
anything else about that?
Just it's coming out, and when keep your ears open for some news on all that, and there'll be some. Hopefully, there's going to be some things that are going to happen in the Shoals in regards to the Aretha movie. So just keep your ears open. And
A dead ringer for Spooner.
oh yeah,
That's amazing. I mean,
I mean, they really
love
matched
that.
him.
I love that.
Yeah, he was.
yeah. Who was the
top.
guy that played Jerry Wexler?
Oh God, I don't know.
Comedian.
Yeah, we'll get Pat.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was a
was
dead
good.
ringer too.
Yep. Yep,
He
he
had
was
the
good.
accent and the whole thing. So, is Jerry
Gonna come in that way. So
okay?
you want me to walk over there?
If you don't mind. But we're excited about that because that's going to be, clearly the Muscle Shows documentary was a huge game changer for us. And Stephen Badger, who's also on our board, the producer of that, that film rocked our world in the best possible way.
Yeah, it did.
And it reignited the spark that made this the hit recording capital of the world. And Rodney and I have been real busy ever since then,
We have been.
trying
We have
to
been.
keep the flames lit and keep our story told, because there is more international interest than ever. At this studio, since we opened for tours, we've had 74,000 visitors from 40 different countries, and about 30% of those are not from the United States, to give you some idea of the impact that this music had. And of course, our international audience is not here to see us in person anymore for a while
Nope.
because of COVID, but they'll be back.
will.
And oh, look there. Jerry Phillips is always the brightest star in the room. And he's getting ready to crank up. I have jacket envy. Every time I'm with Jerry Phillips, I have jacket envy.
I want to anchor a newscast in that jacket.
Yeah, I think you'd
You
look good in
should.
that.
You should. Don't
I
you
think you'd look
think you
great
would.
in it.
I think I'll.
So Rodney, thanks for coming by.
Absolutely. Thank
and
you
we'd
for
love
having
to have
me.
you stay, but I think you've got a show tonight in Huntsville,
I
right?
do later on.
Okay. And where is that show?
It is at the camp at Mid City.
Okay, great. So
West
y'all
Sheffield
go out
and Pond Diver.
So this is done at 7. His show starts at 7, right?
I think
8.
so. Yeah.
Then you can watch this and drive to Huntsville and see Rodney's show.
Yeah.
Make it a musical
I'm not
thing.
really doing anything. I'm just going to be there.
Well,
There-
that's something right there, Rodney. That's something right there. Well, thanks for dropping by. And I'm
Absolutely.
going to present to you now the one and only rocker, Jerry Phillips.
Are you ready for me? Well, we were Mr. Spooner.
We're missing Kelvin.
Well, dadgummit.
Nah, not
Kelvin, tell
really.
you what. I guess we're gonna wait on Spinner. We're
It is
gonna-
rock and roll. That's what it is.
We're gonna play. Well, let's see.
It's kind of sessions go, though.
You know, it's a big honor for me to be here, and these guys have kind of adopted me a little bit as a musician because, you know, certainly not in their class, but they've been real nice to me, and to be invited to play on this particular show is a real honor for me. And of course, I come from a family of heritage through Sun Records, Sam Phillips, and all that. So I believe, you know, Memphis and Muscle Shoals are soul brothers all the way, and sisters. I mean, that's just the only two towns I know that are, you know, that are just so similar in the way people play, the way they feel the music, and the way they care about it. And here comes Spinner. Man, look at that. I got to spend some time with Spinner yesterday down in the basement. And our conversation was about how lazy we both were, you know. Is that true? That's the truth. I didn't want to admit that to anybody, but Spinner brought it up first. He said, you know, I'm just lazy. I said, well, damn, Spinner, I am too, you know. So anyway, I did have a Sun record out on a group called the Jesters, and like I said, I'm going to play. Stuff I'm going to play is not necessarily Muscle Shoals music, but it should have the same type of feel. It's kind of a rockabilly stuff. But, you know, you guys out there listening and watching, send money and buy things, and because this is a very important thing to keep going. I don't think it's ever not going to be going, but going through this COVID situation, you know, has been really weird. But anyway, I'm going to start off with a song called My Babe. Here we go, boys. My baby don't stand no cheating, my babe. My baby don't stand no cheating, my babe. My baby don't stand no cheating. She don't stand none of that midnight creeping. My baby's a true little baby, she's mine. Here we go now. My baby, I know she loves me, my babe. My baby, I know she loves me, my babe. My baby, I know she loves me. She don't do nothing but kiss and hug me. My baby's a true little baby, she's mine. Come on, Kelvin. Let her go, Will. Come on, boy. Easy, boy. You know now, my baby don't stand no fooling, my babe. My baby don't stand no fooling, my babe. My baby don't stand no fooling. When it gets so hot, there ain't no cooling. My baby's a true little baby, she. You wanna rock one time, Spooner? Come on now. All right now, you know now, my baby, I know she loves me, my babe. My baby, I know she loves me, my babe. My baby, I know she love me. She don't do nothing but kiss and hug me. My baby's a true little baby, she's mine. Yeah, my baby's a true little baby, she's mine. My baby's a true little baby, she's mine. What about this band here? Thank God. I told Debbie, I said, I'm not coming to play anything unless I got a really good band. I learned it early on. But anyway, yeah, man, it's great. And I'm going to do one more, but I wrote this song. It's called You're My Number One. You're Still My Number One Girl. Kind of during the COVID thing and thinking about how all these musicians travel the world and are gone all the time and come back and generally have a number one girl there waiting on them, you know. So anyway, it's called You're Still My Number One Girl. Hello, baby, how have you been? It's just me, I'm back in town again, but I've been rocking and rolling all over the world. Yeah, but listen up, honey, 'cause you're still my number one girl. I had to leave town in a hurry, didn't want you to worry, but how about a date, baby? But don't you be late, 'cause I've been rocking, rolling all over the world. Yeah, now listen up, honey, 'cause you're still my number one girl. Somebody take one for me now. Well, you say you wanna know just where I've been, honey, around the moon. But I flew back again, 'cause I've been rocking and rolling all over the world. Yeah, now listen up, honey, 'cause you're still my number one girl. Come on, Spoon Man, let's go one time. Say you wanna know just where I've been, honey, around the moon. I flew back again, 'cause I've been rocking, rolling all over the world. Yes, I have, baby. So listen up, honey, 'cause you're still my number one girl. 'Cause I've been rocking, rolling all over the world. Won't you listen up, baby, 'cause you're still my number one girl. listen up, honey, 'cause you're still my number one girl. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, guys.
And again, you're going to hear more music later on today. And Judy, that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, he didn't look very lazy.
No,
then, did he?
not at
He
all.
might be lazy sometimes.
Not at all.
He was
One of-
working it.
Absolutely. And one of the things we want to remind you of is that anybody who donates over $500 will be entered into a drawing. And this is really cool. You get 2-night stay in Nashville, Memphis, and the Shoals. So all 3 of them.
Yeah, and what is a room in Nashville going for? About
A zillion.
4,000 a night?
Yeah, it's about 4,000 a night.
Yeah,
Not
yeah, for parking, that's right.
so anybody donating over $500 will be entered into a drawing for that.
And if you don't, if that doesn't rock your world, going to those 3 cities, you know, that's going to be wonderful. So
Absolutely.
So there's an incentive to up the donations.
Absolutely. And the link for the silent auction is on the web stream, and also I got a lot of papers here. The number, if you want to call, 256. That's area code 256-978-5151. And as I always say, operators are standing by.
Gary Baker was threatening to answer phones the other day. So, you know, you don't know who might pick up on
Oh, absolutely.
the call here. Rodney, I want to talk about the day you were born. Because that was a great day.
For me.
Yeah, well, for all of us, Rodney. But wasn't that the day that y'all recorded Mustang Sally at Fame?
That's the rumor. I know my dad was doing Wilson Pickett when I was born. So yeah, could be.
Well, I just think that's cool. I'd tell everybody if my daddy recorded Wilson Pickett.
Yeah. Well, it was a good day.
Yeah,
For the Halls, I guess.
I guess it
Yes.
was.
I don't know. Maybe.
So we need to. You want to look at some of our silent auction items?
Borrow that back. Look at silent auction. Yeah, we've got some great silent auction items. We have an autograph, and I'm just going to run through some of them. I think the 2 big ones that's getting a lot of attention is an autograph bass guitar from David Hood and an autograph guitar from Jason Isbell. And Tracy Thomas is going to be here a little bit later.
To tell us more about.
Tell us more about that and some of what Jason's going on. But you look at some of this. There's an autographed Drive-By Truckers tour jacket that's signed by Patterson. That's on the silent auction.
And who would like a 4-day weekend on beautiful Wilson Lake?
I'm telling you what, 4 days on a lake house.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
We've got that's up for auction, and it's 4 nights on a beautiful spot on the lake.
Yeah,
And
4-night stay at the Muscle Shoals Lake House on Donegan Slough on Wilson Lake. Sleeps 8, easy slope to the pier, beautiful views from every room in the house. Boat slip for guests who want to bring their boat. It's close to the Robert Trent Jones golf trail courses, close to all the attractions, and it's on the silent auction.
yeah, it sleeps 8, so that's a party waiting to happen.
That's a party, absolutely.
You got 3 days to party and a day to sober up.
And then go back to
Yeah,
work.
they go back to work, to the real world.
And there's a couple of things I wanted to mention too on the silent auction. Like, for example, they have a tour itinerary from Gary Rossington from Leonard Skinner's 1976 summer tour. It has a master list, day-to-day travel arrangements. Also included is Skinner's first and last album recorded at Muscle Shoals Sound. It's signed by Gary Rossington and Jimmy Johnson.
Oh, wow. That's special.
Yeah, there's a couple like that. There's also, I wanted to point out too, there's a guitar, and this is going to blow you away. Now, this is on the silent auction right now. It's on the silent auction right now. The link is on the Facebook live stream. It's a guitar with signatures from, this is amazing, Rick Hall, David Hood, Jimmy Johnson, Roger Hawkins, Jerry Phillips, and Spooner Oldham. It's all on the guitar. And it's on the silent auction right now. And so get moving.
Yeah, you need that. Every guitar collector needs that in their collection.
Yeah, and just to underline, I'd like to underline that. The guitar is signed by Rick Hall, David Hood, Jimmy Johnson, Roger Hawkins, Jerry Phillips, and Spooner Oldham. That's an Are You Kidding Me?
Yeah. Right.
Silent auction right now.
Right.
There's a Cher album again, which is signed by Jimmy and David. It's just incredible what's on here. There's also the T-shirt that you showed.
Right.
That
Yeah, the Natalie Channon shirt.
yeah, that's available.
Alabama Channon.
Shoals Fest experience at Muscle Shoals. 2 general admission tickets. That's on the silent auction right now. Part of that includes an overnight stay in the 77 Airstream that sits on the Muscle Shoals Sound Studio grounds, and that's just cool enough as it is right there.
Yeah.
I like that.
We're even going to clean it up. It's going to be uppity.
For the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. It's got to be a little fun.
We'll shovel it out. Yeah.
It's rock and roll.
But there's a lot, and again, David's guitar, bass guitar, and Jason Isbell signed a guitar for, and it's again all on the silent auction. The link is on the website, Muscle Shoals Sound Facebook page.
So, and I understand, I did a little snooping, and I understand Jason's guitar is way up there.
Oh, is it? Is it? Yeah.
So if you want it, you better bid and get moving.
And again, Tracy Thomas will be here a little bit later to talk about that guitar, plans for Shoals Fest,
And her plans to sweeten the deal.
yeah, absolutely.
Tracy's got some plans to sweeten the deal if you bid on Jason's guitar.
There you
So
go.
She'll be in here to tell us more about that.
Sounds good.
More about that later. So, Rodney,
Yes.
tell us who's been working at Fame lately.
We had Ann Wilson from Heart was in recently, and we've had several other bands, regional bands. We had David Shaw in from the Revivalists a while back, and the Revivalists were here last year as well. So we've been staying busy. During COVID, everything slowed down. We shut down for a while, and but it's starting to pick back up, and tours are starting to pick back up. We're all open for tours. We're open, Jackson Highway's open here at Muscle Shoals Sound. Fame's open. The Alabama Music Hall of Fame's open. So visit the Shoals. Come see us and check out where the magic happens.
Yeah. Great. So Fame's open today for tours. So this should get you. This should get you in the mood for a tour.
Absolutely.
Especially since you get to see Rodney Hall right here.
That's it. Absolutely.
the man himself. And we want to thank our sponsors again, of course, Lions HR, but also Bank Independent and the City of Sheffield and the City of Muscle Shoals, Florence Lauderdale Tourism, the Muscle Shoals National Heritage Area. Carrie's going to be here in a bit to talk more about the work they're doing. They have been such an asset to our area and so supportive of the music, and particularly the roots of our music and the history of the music. So she'll be in later to tell us more about that. Bill Alexander, State Farm agent, is a sponsor, as is Steve Pierce, Marriott Shoals Hotel and Spa, Champy's Chicken, Kenneth and Tony Brooks, and Southern Package Store. So we want to thank all of them. And we've actually had people pull up in the parking lot and hand us cash today. Now, I wish you'd do that every day and just give it straight to me.
Somebody handed me some earlier.
Did they really?
I didn't know what that was for.
You thought it was for you. You thought it was because you were so cute. So we're having fun with that. I mean, people are being very generous, and the numbers are going up, and we appreciate it. We knew we could count on you. We knew we could count on Muscle Shoals music lovers to come through for this iconic studio, and you're doing it, and we appreciate it.
And again, the thing too on that was, I think the number you had, Judy, was 85% off the business with COVID.
Yes, our income was down 85%, and that's a big ouch.
Yeah, that's huge.
And when you're a nonprofit, and we're already dependent on the kindness of strangers, I guess, and fans. So that really did hit us hard. But we are, as Rodney said, things are picking up again, though. Our tours are picking up. We're still very careful about limiting the number of people that come in the studio at once. But it's looking good for the home team. We're seeing a parking lot full of cars out there these days. And boy, that's a sweet sight to see.
Absolutely. And when I was in here the other day, there were a lot of cars and tags from all over. I mean, a lot of Alabama folks too, but there are also people from all over as well.
Right. And back in the day, they were coming here from all over the world, weren't they, Rodney? They were. One thing we did with state tourism, because our challenge is to keep our international fans engaged when they can't get on a plane and come see us. And so we did an event here a few months ago where we had a Zoom event with 50 Brazilian tour operators. And it was more fun.
Wow.
And Will McFarlane and David and participated, and NC Thurman participated in that. And at one point in the call, Will was singing Mustang Sally, Rodney's birthday song. And at one point, he had the Brazilian tour operators, 50 of these people, unmuted their Zoom call and were screaming, "Ride, Sally, ride," at the top of their lungs.
Wow.
And that was more fun to see. And that's just one example of what we're trying to do to keep our international audience engaged. And we did another one for some French tour operators a couple of weeks after that. Little bitty bit of a language barrier there, but we pulled it off. So we're gonna keep reaching out because we that's all part of keeping this dream alive.
That's a tremendous story, and if you don't think the music, you know, if you ever wonder if the music really moves people the way it does, that's a fantastic story
And that was
about
just-
exactly what it does.
Yeah, and that was just impromptu. You know, Will's such a great showman.
Yeah.
And so he just pulled that out of his pocket, and everybody really had a lot of fun with that. I've lost my mind, Greg.
Oh, that's
There
okay.
never was much of it there.
Well, same here.
And
Hey,
that-
and again, continue to help us out. The Muscle Shoals Sound Facebook page it's got the link for the silent auction, and again, the phone number you can call 256-978-5151. And I think we're gonna continue. We're gonna have a lot of music today, and we'll see if is Gary ready to go.
No.
No, okay.
Gary saw the article in the paper about Swamp-A-Thon and texted me about 3 minutes after it came off the press and said he wanted to help us out. And we really appreciate it, Gary,
Well, I'm
so
glad to be
so
here.
much. And so now you're going to turn us on to your music.
Did Greg want to ask me any questions? You want me to just talk about
Yeah,
a little bit of my experience here?
yeah, oh
Yeah,
yes, yeah.
it-
We want to hear your story about why you moved to Muscle Shoals.
Yeah, the moving was a big story. I think would be great for people to hear.
Worst kind of Yankee I am. Worst kind. Comes down and stays. Yeah. Oh, it's a great story. I was born and raised on a dairy farm in New York, and I don't know, just went like everybody else, found music through the Beatles pretty much, but my age of people, we actually bought vinyl records. We'd share them. You know, one guy would buy them, we have a huge party. Another guy would buy them, we'd have another party, like in the old days of it. I found it as I began playing and playing more that I was super interested in the players, the musicians that were playing on the records, and I had my favorites. And you know, I'm a bass player by trade. I hate to say that in front of David here, but first session I ever played at was in this studio with Pete Carr and his one of his solo records. I walked in here. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but I walked in here and all of a sudden I looked over and there's Roger Hawkins right there. And I'm going, oh my gosh, you're on all these records that are my favorites. And this is where David plays. Just plug in right here. Couldn't have been more nice to me. Everybody was so nice to me. The Swampers, Jimmy, I learned so much from Jimmy too about being in the studio, and he used to say it was. He used to always introduce me as this Gary Baker, and I was cutting Gary Baker songs before it was cool, you know. And but anyway, when I came to this town and realized that, I mean, I knew they were here. But I got LeBlanc and Carr moved me here, Lenny and Pete. And Pete really took me under his wing. And I learned so much from these guys, not just about playing in the studio. I learned a lot about life. I learned a lot about how to sustain a living in this business, and you know, and then, you know, all the other guys like Mac and Walt and Robert Byrne, how to write songs and over at Fame and all that. And so it was a really good run for me, but this studio is amazing to me. It's so iconic. Just the other day I was in Florida, walking on the beach and talking to some people, and they asked me where I was from, and I said, we're a little town, you know, you probably heard of Huntsville. He said, yeah, kind of. I said, well, I said, I'm really from Muscle Shoals. He said, oh, God, everybody knows about Muscle Shoals. I went, yeah, you know what? You're right. They do. And they need to know more about it because this is not just a great place to make music. This is a great place to live. And I chose to raise all 5 of my children here. And all 4 of them live here. One's in Birmingham. I'm trying to get him back, as we speak, But so it's meant so much to me. And also everybody that knows this, you know what I'm about to, I mean, it's fun. It's not just fun. It feels amazing to give back. And that's what we're asking you to do. We need you to give back to this amazing place that's meant so much to all of you out there that are listening because it's the most famous thing about Muscle Shoals that there is. So when you say Muscle Shoals, it's the studios and the musicians and the songwriters and the engineers and everybody that they're kind of referencing, but it's also a place where you all raise your families. So we're asking you to keep this going. We need it. We just need the money. It's hard to say that, but we do. Yeah. So anyway, Greg, you got any questions for me, or you want me to just go?
No, I thought that was great. One other thing that I think people would be interested in your thoughts on is, because you know the industry, is just speak to, as we're asking people to donate, speak to what musicians have had to go through in the last 14, 15 months.
Oh.
To speak to
unthinkable.
The difficulty. If you could give folks a sense of that, I think that would be good, considering why we're here and why we're asking people to do what they do.
You're right. After it sunk in that it was shut down, completely shut down. It was like a sci-fi movie. It was so weird. But my first instinct was all the players and all the musicians and all the venues and the tour guides even, I mean, everything was going to shut down and they were going to be most likely without. And the road to recovery is coming back, but that's a long way from back. And it's just a very sad deal for players and musicians. A lot of tours, things I was involved in, shut down. Record I should have had released probably would have been the biggest record of my life, was cut, pushed back. I don't know if it'll ever come out. I hope it does.
I bet it will.
I hope so. It's one of my favorite records I
We'll
ever
go
made.
protest or something.
But COVID hit everybody hard, but I don't know if it hit anyone harder than the music business.
Well, particularly the players who make their living playing live.
Exactly.
And there was nowhere to do it. And as John Paul said at his concert last week, which was his first time to play in public and live, that you need that feedback of a live audience to feed your soul.
You do.
That's just
so
part
true.
of what makes a song or a performance great is feeling the love,
Right.
And as he said, we've got a lot of catching up to do.
We sure do.
And that's the fun part.
And that is the fun part. We're going to get there because we're going to get a lot of help from y'all. We're going to do it. It's funny, Judy, because when I walked in here today, I hadn't seen a lot of these people in a year or more.
Right.
Because there's no place to go see them.
Right.
And I just loved being around it and being around the music and I would love to have jumped in on all that stuff, especially what Jerry's doing. he's rocking, buddy. But
Cranking it.
And we're of course so thrilled to have Patterson here because we had not seen him in over a year.
And his sister down there.
Yeah. So
I looked right at her and I said, I know exactly who you are.
yeah.
And it was fun to catch up with her as well. And it's David's name on the records is a lot of the reason why I really just gravitated to this area because that's how I was making my living, like those club artists that club guys, playing live. But it's Barry. He cut a lot of my songs, and every time Barry Beckett.
Yes,
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. He was always so happy to see me
whenever I'd come in, and he cut a bunch of my songs, just sit there and play them for him. Yeah, I like it. I think I'm going to do this one about, I think Eddie Raven would love it, whatever, you know. It was a great time, and Jimmy taught me a lot about being in the studio. He told me a long time ago, he said, okay, I'm sitting in front of 60 channels or whatever, and you're sitting in front of 4 or 8 channels. It doesn't matter how many channels you got. If there's one, you're making music. So you're in the studio. And that stuck with me so hard that I'll never forget it. And, you know, just being able to play bass with Roger playing the drums, wow, that was unbelievable. I just don't know how they did what they did, but they did.
Yep.
You know, and of course, David was my favorite guy because I'm a bass
He's
player.
mine,
But,
too.
you know,
He's
Pete
my
Carr.
favorite guy, too.
Huh?
David's my favorite guy, too.
I bet he is, isn't he? And Pete Carr, again, when I moved here, it was they were 5 pretty much doing everything all the time, those 5. So I didn't realize Pete really was, I guess, not a swamper. He was just kind of guy that,
Yeah, he was an honorary swamper
An
for
honorary
sure because he
swamper,
played on
yeah.
a lot of the records, and one of the guitars in the studio he donated to us.
yeah, that black one right there,
Yeah,
I played on stage with
unfortunately
him
we-
many times.
Yeah, unfortunately, we lost Pete during COVID, but before he got sick, he would just drop by the studio, and
Oh,
we'd
yeah.
have tourists in here, and they would just,
A wealth of knowledge.
yeah,
Oh,
really, and
unbelievable.
talent.
You know, and I think I was telling Chase, and now I'm back earlier, that you'd mentioned Freebird earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we were the opening act for the tour where the plane crashed.
Oh, wow.
So we Lanny LeBlanc and Carr, we were opening that act. We had the same manager, Peter Rhodes was our manager, managed them, 38 Special, The Who, The Stones, and we were touring together on that very last record that they made, and we went off and did a show for our record company, and they went off and did a show for their record company, and that's when their plane crashed. When we got to Little Rock, there was no show because I'll never forget the guy at the Holiday Inn or whatever telling us about that plane crash. It was devastating
Yes.
to all of us
So you found out when you got to the hotel.
when we checked in.
Wow.
Well, you know exactly what he said? He said, "Oh, didn't you hear Leonard Skinner died?" Like it was a guy.
Yeah, a lot of people thought
mean,
it was
you know, and
an
when-
individual, yeah.
What are you talking about? Then we heard that. Of course, my mother thought I was on that plane.
Oh.
And anyway, it was a real sad time for all of us. And that was a kind of like in its own way a COVID thing because it shut us down.
Right,
You know?
right. That was you had an early dose of COVID.
Right. And it was a long road back. And I'm from a little town right outside of Buffalo, New York. And it's oddly enough, the song "Falling" with LeBlanc and Carr went up the charts to 55, dropped down to 98 back when they had 100. And some guy in Buffalo during that massive snowstorm that they had up. Now, I remember that snowstorm. I was in it. It rose and started going. He played it and played it, and it took off and went into, I don't know how high it went, but it was a hit. And then, boom, we're out touring. And
Such a beautiful song,
Yeah.
though. That's an enduring song.
love that.
You know, it's a timeless
think
song.
about winter.
Yes.
Good song. Anyway, I think I've rambled too much.
No,
No.
not at all.
Thank
Not at all.
you,
Go,
Gary.
go ahead.
I'm just gonna do a little bit of a few songs, just a little bit. When you're writing songs, you just write them and you hope they're good, and you don't ever know if anything's ever going to happen to you or with it ever. And then all of a sudden, somebody likes your song and it gets cut, and then hey, it comes out. Whoa! And then all of a sudden, it's going up the charts, and you somehow miraculously. And you end up with a #1 record. And so this is, ironically, it's by the group Alabama. This is my first hit record I ever had. Once upon a lifetime, I looked in someone's eyes. I felt the fire burning in my heart for the very first time. But I was scared and young, and it never tasted love. But a woman took my hand turned a boy into a man once upon a lifetime. So if you're taking chances, know the chance you take. A broken heart's a high price to pay, and foolish ways will make fools of the wise, and the best things seldom come along twice, and people only find love like yours and mine once upon a lifetime. Once Upon a Lifetime, Group Alabama. I think it was 1994, maybe it was a #1 record, somewhere in that neighborhood. Keeping in the order I gave Debbie, I'm going to do a song that I had with the group Lone Star, which was one of those songs you just, do you want to hear a little of the backgrounds of that kind of stuff, like a writer night kind of thing?
Yes, yeah. We want to delve into the brain of Gary Baker. Scary, scary place to be, probably.
What?
Scary place to be in your brain, probably.
Yes.
But yeah, tell us
You know
about
what's funny? I'm a little nervous in this building.
We want to hear the
little.
You shouldn't be.
I
It should
know,
feel like
I know,
home.
but it's like what's here, what's been here, and what's walked right here where I'm standing.
Not to mention
know?
what's gonna be here. We're keeping the stream alive.
You know, but anyway, so we write songs. Well, I was writing songs every day, sometimes a couple songs a day, but I was also trying to get myself locked in with the Backstreet Boys at the time, because our company in New York was the company that Jive Records and Zomba were the ones that did all that stuff, and so I decided that it was more important for me to go play around the golf with them in the morning as to write with the guys I was supposed to write with. But graciously that afternoon, when I got back, we just sat down and we actually wrote this song that it was, I don't know if they even remember the song they wrote first. They probably don't now, but so we wrote that. So anyway, I got off the hook with that. But my part of this song, my idea, my input for this song came from my son Cole, who when I was back promoting a record Frank and Myers and I did on Curb, Baker and Myers, we were going like 297 days the year. He was 2 or 3 years old. So he would always ask me when I was coming back, when you're going to be home again, blah, 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 And a few years later, when we were sitting writing this idea, I took from that, remembered it like it was yesterday, and then this song came out that just started flowing out of all of us. So, we're on the road from a lonely, cold hotel room just to hear her say I love you one more time. And when he heard the sound of the kids laughing in the background, had to wipe away a tear from his eye. A little voice came on the phone, said, Daddy, when you're coming home? He said the first thing that came to his mind, I'm already there. Take a look around. I'm the sunshine in your hair. I'm the shadow on the ground. I'm the whisper in the wind. Gonna be there till the end. Can you feel this love that we share? Oh, I'm already there. We may be 1,000 miles apart, but I'll be with you wherever you are, 'cause I'm already there. Don't make a sound. I'm the beat in your heart. I'm the moonlight shining down. I'm the whisper in the wind. I'm your imaginary friend. And I know that I'm in your prayers. Oh, I'm already there. I'm already there. Lone Star sat there for a long time at #1 in that. Was nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah, that's a tearjerker too.
Oh,
I'm
thank
here
you.
wiping tears, you know.
You never know.
Yeah.
I wrote the day we wrote that song. I went home and sat in my living room and tried to play it for Amanda and couldn't get through it. After I got to part of the chorus, I said, "See ya. We'll get this later. I'll put it on tape and play it for you."
Yeah, real men don't cry, Gary.
Oh me. So I'll do a little bit of one more, and then that'll be my portion here. But again, I want to say thank you to everybody out there that's watching, and a special thank you to everyone that's dialing that phone number or sending a donation, small donation, anything. Everything counts. We really need it. We really do. And I appreciate everything y'all are doing, and I appreciate what y'all are doing to keep this thing going. Judy and Debbie. Greg, thanks for coming over here, man. Appreciate it. So, I don't know if Rodney's up here right now, but,
Hey, Jerry,
huh?
after this, yeah.
Should I stop?
No,
we're
we want more. We want an encore. I'm going to put my lighter up.
All right, so this is one of those songs. In fact, I wrote this in Walt Aldridge's office upstairs at Fame one night, one afternoon with Frank Myers, and it's laid around for 5 years. The demo, I guess, didn't cut it very well, the first one, so Frank and I, in my little house in Sheffield over there in the garage, we demoed it, the two of us, on a 8-track cassette deck. Thank you, Jimmy. And it changed everything and changed our lives and did win us a Grammy. And it's funny, Rodney was sitting right next to me when they said, and the winner is, I swear, I looked at him, I said, is that, you know, what? Oh my God, you know. So, and I tell you something other also ironic about that. Mac Davis handed me my Grammy. Isn't that crazy? I mean, he cut so much music here, you know. And I also wrote a lot of songs on the back of Marie Osmond's bus with Frank. And she also cut a lot of music. She has such a fond memories and loved her time here. It was really great. All right, anyway, so this was won the Grammy, I think, in '95. I see the questions in your eyes. I know what's weighing on your mind. You can be sure I know my part. 'Cause I'll stand beside you through the years. You'll only cry those happy tears. And though I make mistakes, I'll never break your heart. 'Cause I swear by the moon and the stars in the sky, I'll be there. I swear, like a shadow that's by your side, I'll be there. For better or worse, till death do us part. I love you with every beat of my heart, I swear. I swear. Did the verse and chorus?
That was a whopper, Gary.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
That's such a great
And all you
song.
women out there, if you're buying those Game Pods, little Game Pods
Yeah.
detergent,
Yeah.
thank you.
Right.
It just was just a national
Well, even the
commercial right now.
Minions,
Huh?
the Minions sang that song.
They
in the
did.
movie,
They
you know?
did. It's
so
amazing.
now when we go on tours at Fame, we talk about that song. 5-year-old kids are singing it. You know,
Isn't
I
that
mean,
something?
because if it's good enough for the Minions, man, it's good enough for them. You know?
In 1 week, in one day, actually, I played on stage with the Backstreet Boys in Tupelo. My grandson was there. And they had just seen the movie with my name at the end of it with the Minions. I became hot stuff. Just like that.
Oh, you moved up the
You were-
chart on
yeah,
that, didn't you?
You were the 5-year-olds.
Hey, I want to thank you so much for including me in this very incredible day.
Well, I want to thank you for stepping
I've
up,
really
Gary.
enjoyed it.
When you reached out, that we were real moved by that, and we appreciate it.
I'm loving it.
And we're gonna tear the roof off this sucker. We're gonna make some money.
We're gonna
today.
do it.
We're already making some money.
You know
today.
what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm going to go downstairs and have another piece of Champy's chicken.
Okay. It's there for you.
Who's a sponsor, by the way?
Yeah, they're a sponsor. One of our proud sponsors.
Gary lobbed that up. I hit it out.
I
Yeah.
love you, Judy.
That's right.
Thank you, Gary.
All right. We wouldn't be a party if we didn't get to talk to Jerry Phillips.
That's
we gotta
right.
get him over here.
Oh, I'm telling you. And
I'm sorry.
yeah, we're hey Jerry, why don't we do
Come this
this?
way.
Come on, yeah. Either what do you, Judy? What do you think of him putting him in the chair because of the microphone and the
Yeah.
camera? We got camera coverage. Why don't we do over that? And that way you got a mic right there, and we're not. Well, I'll let
It's
Judy
not
handle
over
that
yet,
part.
Jerry.
Judy
It's
handled
not
that-
over
that
yet.
situation.
And before we talk to Jerry, just want to remind everybody, Spooner is going to be out here in a little bit for to play. And again, the silent auction, the link to the silent auction is on the Muscle Shoals Sound Facebook page. And from what I understand, Judy, some of the items on that are doing really well.
Yes.
They're doing really well, and that's great. And a little later in the day, we're going to talk to Tracy Thomas about the Jason Isbell guitar and some other things going on there. But again, the link to the silent auction is on the Muscle Shoals Sound Facebook page. And if you just want to call and give us money, and we're all about that,
Right.
256-978-5151. Judy?
Thank you, and every penny counts. Jerry, the great Jerry Phillips, such a good friend and so important to our board here at the foundation, and we just appreciate you. What does this studio mean to you personally?
Well, you know, I wasn't in here a whole lot, you know, back in the heyday. I mean, I knew what was going on here, but these guys stayed so busy all the time. And before, it's either before this place opened or after it opened, I think, and during, you know, we were swapping off musicians from Memphis to, we'd seen Steve Cropper over here, and then David would come over and play, and some of the Swampers. And so it was a great combination of musicians, like I said earlier. Memphis and Muscle Shoals are the soul brothers, soul sisters. I mean, they just really are. I mean, you can't compare Memphis and Muscle Shoals to L.A. or New York or even New Orleans is a completely different feel there. But, you know, to me, it's just I told David earlier, I said, man, every time I get a glimpse of what was recorded here, I get a new revelation that I just can't believe. You know, I know it's kind of a cliche, but, you know, I can't believe that all that music came out of here. And, you know, I'm so proud. You know, both my parents were born here. I was born in Memphis, but I've been coming here my entire life. And, you know, my dad Sam Phillips, he never went anywhere without talking about Alabama, where he was from, and the music. And he loved all the music that came out of here. And, you know, he talked with Rick Hall a lot, and Rick was going to go to Nashville and open up a studio, and Sam had already done that. He had opened one up there, and they really didn't receive him very well because they thought he was a rebel, and he was not going to, you know, play the game that was going on there. So
Rebel.
yeah, and so he told Rick, Rick's telling me this, I'm not making this up, that Sam said, Rick, you just need to stay here. They're not going to understand you over there. And you know, he was a big fan of Nashville anyway. I mean, not that he loved Grand Ole Opry. In fact, he bought the WSM transmitter when they changed it out to a new transmitter. We own the other one. We've had it stored for 30 years. It probably cost me $500,000 or something to store the damn thing. But, you know, I don't know how to put into words what this place means to me. I'm just so glad it came back, and we were able to restore it and make it right. And you've been such a great big part of that. And, you know, I mean, it's really hard to describe this place. It really is.
Yeah. Well, we're just glad you're here. You're here now, and you've had some pretty big projects going on lately in the studio.
Some pretty good what?
You've had some projects in your studio in Memphis.
Oh,
Can you
yeah,
tell
we've
us a
had-
little bit about that?
Well, we got Matt Ross Spangler, one of our engineers. There's won 2 Grammys over the last year, and we've had Dale Watson, Lucero. We've had Drive-By Truckers been in there, Margot Price. I mean, I can't even think of all the people that have been in there, but it was pre-COVID, so that's been a year.
Right.
To remember all that's been there. But
Right.
we've been in business since 1960. My dad never owned the Sun Studio, which was always Memphis Recording Service when he was there. They changed the name to Sun Studio when it was became a tourist attraction. But and then he built our Sam Phillips Recording Studio in 1960, and we've been in business for 60 years now. And so, in studio business, these guys know, I mean, how hard it is to make a living, but boy, by God, they made a living out of it, and it's still going on. This music is still going on. It's not ever going to die. Yeah. I mean, a good song, good music. I mean, I own radio stations. We play this stuff all the time, and when I'm traveling to other cities, these songs come up. They just keep coming up, coming up. And it has the same effect on everybody. I don't care what age you are, it has the same effect. So I'm just, like I said, I'm honored that these guys even want me and you, Judy, and everybody, and these guys here that are running the cameras. And it's a group effort for everybody, in the shows here. And it's so important for the music business that people continue to realize, what really happened here and is still happening. And I talked to some of these young guys that are operating these cameras, and most of them are musicians, and it's really a pleasure to know that they have a passion for what happened here, and they want to continue that tradition,
Right.
I mean, I think they do.
And we have an incredible board, don't we?
We
Jerry?
do. We really do.
We have Jerry, of course, on our board. Aubrey Preston from Leapers Fork, who's so active in the music business and such a generous philanthropist, is on our board. Stephen Badger, who was the producer of the Muscle Shoals movie, the movie that rocked our world, and also CEO of Mars Candy Company, is on the board, and sometimes he doubles as my spiritual guide. Thank you, Stephen. Billy Reed is on our board, Kenneth Brooks, and of course Rodney Hall, and Ian Sanford. So we really we have a good board. We keep our goal, and I'm the chairman of that board only because that's what happens when you miss a meeting. But we do have a good board, and everybody's totally committed, to
They are,
keeping
but
this dream alive. And
Judy's got a hard job of wrangling all these people to get them on a phone call or anything. You know what I mean? It's like, can you do it now? No, well, I can't do it now. I got to eat a pizza or something.
I've been around musicians for 34 years. I can herd cats.
You can herd cats, and you do a really fine job of it. And everybody's really proud of you and Debbie and everybody that's involved in this. But
Well, it's a group effort, and we appreciate it. We appreciate you.
yeah, well, thank you very much.
Why don't you beg them for money one time? Before you come?
Yeah, hey, look, you people out there, no kidding now. I mean, you need to send some money and buy something, do something. This is not a joke, and it's like Gary was saying earlier, the music business has been it's been kicked in the teeth, actually. I don't know how many of you guys have been in a fist fight and got kicked in the teeth, but it's not fun at all. I have. And so I need to get my teeth fixed, and we need to get our teeth fixed, It's kind of that kind of situation, but because they've been kicked, I mean, truthfully, the music business and the radio business, and entertainment business, the movie business, the whole bit, but particularly the entertainment. I know people that, and I won't ramble on, but I know people who had complete 6 or 7 month European tours booked, and that was going to be their entire income for the year, and no, can't do it. I mean, gone, no, nothing, and selling their furniture on Facebook, and so no, really, it is a serious situation. So please send. I don't like to beg anybody for anything, but this is not a begging situation. It's a necessary situation that if you've got any kind of money you can let go of, send it. Do it. We need it, and you'll be glad that you did, for sure.
We appreciate you, Jerry. Love you.
Love you too. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
And again, we've made a lot of different ways you can donate money. You can call 256-978-5151. And again, that's 256-978-5151. The silent auction, which is just going gangbusters from what I understand, the link is on the Muscle Shoals Sound Facebook page, and it's going pretty well.
This is more fun.
It is.
Watching the money grow.
I know,
you
it's great. And just to hear these stories and
because we've got to get our teeth fixed.
I know. I understand.
heard the man.
I'm on a wavelength there with that. So.
We've got to have some dental work done here.
Absolutely.
So that's not cheap.
No, it's
That's
not. It's
cheap,
not.
So y'all step up and help us.
And I think one thing, and Judy, correct me if I'm wrong here. So we're in the TV business. We call this producing from the desk, which the producers love when the anchors do that. So we're gonna do Spooner next, and then we're gonna do Spooner next, and they're getting set up for.
And while they're getting set up, just in case any of you don't know who all the Swampers are, which you probably do, or you wouldn't be watching this, but I want to make sure all their names get mentioned. Of course, Jimmy Johnson was the rhythm guitarist for the Muscle Shoals rhythm section, a.k.a. Swampers. And unfortunately, we lost him a couple of years ago, and we miss Jimmy. We're still kind of processing that. And Barry Beckett was the keyboardist, and he died in 2009 of cancer. And Roger Hawkins, David's wingman, was always on drums, and they were always locking it in together, and everybody knew when they heard a record that Roger and David were on that's who that was.
That was them.
So Roger's joining us. He's watching us today. He's a little bit under the weather, so he can't be here with us, but he is definitely here in spirit, and I can feel his spirit all over this room. You ready to rock, Spooner?
Yeah, I was out in the parking lot. I didn't hear what you're saying, so I want to say it again if you said it once. But the original four guys, I want to acknowledge their existence. David Hood was the bass player here a lot of years. Roger Hawkins, the drummer, a lot of years. And our friend Barry Beckett, deceased, great friend and player. And Jimmy Johnson played guitar. They had quite a run there, of good music together. But I'll do a song called "Sweet Inspiration" that Dan Penn and I wrote a few days ago. Go ahead and start if you want to. I need your sweet inspiration. I need you here on my mind every hour of the day. Without your sweet inspiration, the lonely hours of the night just don't go my way. A man in love needs sweet inspiration. And honey, that's all I ask, you know, that's all I ask of you. I need your sweet inspiration. You know, there just ain't no telling what a satisfied man might do. The way you call me baby, baby, is such a sweet inspiration. The way you call me darling, darling, sets my heart to skating. And when I'm down, oh yeah, and in a bad situation, I just reach back in my mind, and there I find your sweet, sweet inspiration, inspiration. Oh, what a power every hour of the day. I need your sweet inspiration to go on giving, keep on living this way. I need your sweet inspiration, sweet inspiration, sweet inspiration, sweet inspiration, sweet, sweet inspiration, sweet, sweet inspiration, sweet, sweet inspiration. Thank you very much.
Hey, Spooner,
Thank you. That's
tell,
good.
can you tell us about the day you wrote that song?
The day I wrote that song, yeah. Dan Penn, my friend, sat in on we weren't playing music that day, but sitting on a sofa, and these girls signed with Atlantic Records, Sweet Inspirations, and so I was really excited that they're just going to do a little 45, two sides, and I'm excited to hear them. Well, we sat there a few minutes and wasn't moved by what we were hearing. I wasn't. I said to Dan, you feel like going upstairs? There's a little office upstairs. See if we can write a song for them. So on the stairs going up, I remember Dan says, you got any ideas? I said, well, what's wrong with I Need Your Sweet Inspiration? Because they were called the Sweet Inspiration. And there was a guitar there, acoustic guitar, only instrument. And Will, you play a note or two, we'll see where we start. Yeah.
That was you on guitar on that,
Yeah,
on that track.
on the record, and that's all we had, the instrument. So we wrote it in about an hour and a half, came down and brought it to let them hear it. And some of the producer and engineer, Tom Downs, they're gone to dinner. And so the girls are still there. Reggie Young's still there, the guitarist. And I think Gene Chrisman, the drummer, and Tommy Cargill, the bass player. Well, so we played the song for them. They loved it. They started singing it right away. So, and Reggie says to me, show me that lick again on the guitar. He said, won't you do it? Okay, well. So Dan, he's up there in the control room, and later he tells Tom Dowd, he said, I didn't touch any of your buttons, but I pushed record. So that was the recording, you know. All in 3 or 4 hours. That doesn't usually happen that easily, quickly. But
That's awesome.
Can you tell us real quickly? You've got a story. You've got so many stories. I mean, you're famous. You know, Spooner stories. We all love them. But I like the story of how you came up with the title of "Cry Like a Baby."
oh, wow. Dan usually tells that story when he and I do a duet out on the road, but he's not here, so I'll try to tell it. See, where let's start. Dan called me, said, would you play on their album, the Box Tops, and also would you try to help me write a song for them? They had The Letter, which was a #1 record, and that's when he called me after that. He said, people have sent me songs, but I don't really think they fit them. So yeah, I'll be happy to, you know. So we wrote all night. The way we sometimes write, would we bring our best 10 one-liners, you know, and decide what to focus on. They all went in the garbage real quick, you know. So we decided daylight just to quit, you know. I think he had the session set up for like 2 or 3 days ahead. So we got over there to a little barbecue breakfast joint, nobody there but he and I. And I was really tired. While they're cooking the eggs, laid my head on the table. I raised up. I said to Dan, I could just cry like a baby. I was really feeling sorry for him. He was the one doing the heavy lifting. He's a producer. They called him 3 weeks ago. He's telling me, "Where's your next record?" You know. So he was under the gun, and I wasn't. So I said that from my heart. He said, "What'd you say?" I said, I found that weird. What'd you say? I said, I could just cry like a baby. And the next thing he said blew my mind was, I like that.
Wow. I love that story.
And
So
we went
sometimes
over
out of
there,
our darkest moments come some beautiful things, you know.
and within an hour and a half, we'd written something, went back in, and he said, I'll unlock the door, turn the lights on. You crank the Hammond organ up. I'll get my guitar. We'll put a 60-minute tape on the machine, and we'll write the song or demo it, which we did. And I didn't know what we had. Alex heard it the next day, Alex Chilton, and he's sitting across the desk there, and Dan put that little tape on. He smiled. He started his hand. Thank you. So that's when I figured maybe we had something.
That's great.
But thanks for asking.
Hey, we really appreciate you helping us out today, Spooner. Thank you.
Thank you,
so
Spooner.
much.
Good. Thank you, Greg and Judy and David and Will and Justin, all you good folks on this project. Thank you.
If we do yours and Dan's song, if Janet and I sing one of your songs, if you hang around just another minute or two.
Well, you bet. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean to be pushy over there, but.
You want me
No.
to play along with you or not?
I love
Hey,
it.
we've got Janet up here now. She's going to class up the joint. So.
Where's Kelvin Holly? We don't need. He
Hey,
may not be.
We've got one of my dearest friends on the planet here, and also the hardest working woman in show business, Tracy Thomas.
Hi.
Here you go. Judy, you hang on to that mic. Tracy, you do that one. And if I ask something, I'll just speak really loud. That way
Okay.
you've got a mic.
All right.
People tell me I'm pretty loud.
No.
I've heard it said. Heard it said. So, Tracy,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you so much for brokering the deal with Fender to get us that Jason Isbell guitar.
Not a problem. It was our pleasure.
I mean, it's, and I heard a rumor that if people bid high enough, you might sweeten the deal a little
I
bit,
might.
and you have the wherewithal to do that.
The higher
So,
it goes,
yeah.
the better the pot gets.
Yeah, so give us the ultimate.
We don't know yet.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I will handsomely reward
Okay.
the highest bidder.
You will be greatly rewarded
Yes, you'll be greatly
by
rewarded.
Tracy herself.
Well, not, but people don't want anything with me. They want Jason's, but I can sweet talk him into something.
Well, tell us about Jason's new career as a movie star.
He's having fun. It's a lot of sit around and wait.
Yeah.
But he's been very excited about it, and
So Jason has a role in the Killers of the Flower Moon movie that's coming out with Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro and Jason Isbell.
yes.
So
And Sturgill Simpson.
that's right.
We've
that's
got all
right.
kinds of friends in there.
Yeah. So
You know, I'm a Jason Isbell fan. I have a lot.
you're a Jason Isbell fan.
I'm a
You're a
Jason Isbell
Jason.
fan.
You're a
And he-
stalker.
And, and you know how to say it.
I mean,
Yeah, I know.
he's more than a fan.
Wow. No, that seems to be an issue every now and then still.
It is.
Can you give? But one of the things I hear about the movie is that a question people ask, if you can give us some insight, whatever you can tell us, is how did this happen? Like, is Martin Scorsese a Jason Isbell fan? I mean, what is-
it appears that
what
he is, but
brought them together?
his casting director is definitely a fan.
Got it.
But it appears that Marty was pretty familiar with them as well. So yeah, it just came out of the blue, and he had to do a couple of reads, and did a little training with our agent at William Morris, and in Jason fashion, he killed it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jason on the silver screen.
Yeah.
I love it.
He wants the EGOT, so this is like hopefully a step closer.
Yeah, I would say it is. So, what other projects? And I know Jason and Amanda have both been pretty busy,
We've
hanging
just,
out with Dan Rather and stuff.
We have
too.
just wrapped up a record. Jason said if Georgia went blue, we would do a record of all Georgia artists, and it is
I can't wait to
fantastic.
hear that.
So that will be coming out later this summer. We've got a documentary that's being shopped around.
Oh yeah, these guys spent a little time here,
Exactly.
and out at our house.
Yeah.
Talking to David. That's
So we
gonna
have
be
all
great.
kinds of good things, and when he's done with the movie, we're hitting the road again in July.
And you had a show last weekend.
We did Moon Crush.
Okay.
Yeah,
So how'd that feel?
it felt great. It
I'll
felt
bet.
really good.
I'll
yeah.
bet. We've
But-
all got catching up to do, man.
Yes, but we're really looking forward to Shoals Fest.
Oh yeah.
What can you
And
tell us about Shoals?
Not much. I had to kill you.
we could tell you, but we'd have. We could tell.
I tried.
We could tell you, but we'd have to kill you.
Yeah. It's the first weekend of October.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
2 days.
2 days. We expanded to 2 days. On the Friday night, we haven't announced this yet, but we'll do the Jason Isbell and Friends at the Shoals Theater. We've got 2 days. We are only going to do one stage this time to kind of keep the focus on the main stage. But we'll be making some announcements about that very soon.
Cool.
Yeah.
So if you plan on attending Shoals Fest, I would highly recommend that you book a room, because
most of them are gone already.
yeah, I think there might be 3 left,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
know they're probably the ones that nobody wants to stay in. But
Yeah.
But anyway, last year when we announced it, actually year before last,
Yeah.
we lost a year
Yes.
there.
Or-
Hotel rooms in the Shoals area sold out in like 4 hours, every single room. So, but there are a lot of great B&Bs around here,
Yeah.
so you can suss that out. Don't let that keep you away.
yeah.
Well, you can pitch a tent in McFarland Park.
Perhaps. Yeah.
So, Tracy, thank you for supporting us so
Of
much.
course.
You've always been such a champion for Muscle Shoals music, and
Happy to do
we
it.
appreciate you, and we're glad that you're spending part of your life in town with us now. And God only knows what you and I might get into.
Lord help us.
It won't be pretty, whatever it is.
No.
So,
It'll be productive.
it will be. We get things done.
We do.
We have our own way of doing them.
We
But,
do.
But we do.
Yeah.
We're outcomes oriented.
Yes.
We're
Yes.
definitely outcomes
Yes.
oriented. Well, thank you so much. And
Of
again,
course.
thanks for the guitar. Really,
course.
that's the most bid upon item in our
Excellent.
auction, as you might expect, and it's going to make a big
The
difference.
higher the price.
Yep.
The higher.
Tracy's got something in
Mhm.
store.
Yep.
You got
So-
some incentive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got some
Yeah.
incentive there.
Yep, yep. And Tracy's good as her word too. I can
Yeah.
vouch for that. I can vouch for that. Well, thank you so much, Tracy.
Thanks
we
for having
appreciate it. Love you, girl.
All right. Love you.
Tracy's getting married the week of Shoals Fest.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Man. As if you didn't have enough to do that
Yeah,
weekend.
because there wasn't quite enough. There wasn't quite enough chaos.
Yeah, there wasn't enough
Had to
chaos for
throw
one
a little
weekend.
more chaos in it. But
Hey,
we love
and-
Alan. We love her fiance.
And that guitar that they're talking about, the guitar that Jason signed, it's on the silent auction, and that link again is on the Muscle Shoals Sound Facebook page for you to get a hold of. And David, that guitar is doing well. David's guitar is doing well. There's a lot of other things on there. Okay, I've got 7 after 3. We got a long way to go too, so
Yeah.
you got a lot of time.
Keep plenty of time to spend your money with us.
When we last left our All-Stars, Will was bringing people in. So, Will, set the stage with what we've got and what we're about to do here.
Well, I figured as long as Spooner was here, we'd do another one of his songs that he co-wrote with Dan Penn, who, by the way, is recuperating right now down in Vernon, Alabama. We send a shout out to Dan. Love that man. I had the good fortune of playing on his last record and wrote a couple with him. So love that man. Love this man on the piano over here. He's just part of the legacy of this town, part of the legend of this town, quite frankly. You mentioned Paul Schaefer earlier. When I briefly met him at the Musicians Hall of Fame, all he wanted to talk to me about was you. Like, my credibility went up seriously in his estimation when he found out I knew you.
Yeah, he's a good man. When I went to New York and tried to write a song with Don Colby, now deceased, he took us out to Mickey Mantle's cafe and bought us lunch. But, so, you know, he called Don the king of New York soul music. You know, he was one of the champions of that. But anyway, sorry.
Well, nothing. This is a little Muscle Shoals music, and Something I can sing with my wife, Janet. Thought we'd bring her out here. Of course, I'm sitting here with Kelvin Holly and David Hood, Justin Holder, and Spooner Oldham, so I'm in rare air. That's how I feel.
Oh my.
And here we go with a Dan and Spooner number. This was originally done by James and Bobby Purify. And here we go.
Pull the string and I'll wink at you. I'm your puppet. I'll do funny things if you want me to. I'm your puppet. I'll be yours to have and to hold. Darling, you've got full control of your puppet. So pull another string and I'll kiss your lips. I'm your puppet. Snap your fingers and I'll turn you some flips. I'm your puppet. Your every wish is my command. All you gotta do is wiggle your little hand. I'm your puppet. I'm your puppet.
Just a toy, you're funny boy, makes you laugh when you're blue. I'll be warm or cold, do just what I'm told, do anything for you, baby.
I'm your puppet. I'm your puppet.
Kelvin Holly.
Another string and I'll sing you a song. I'm your puppet. Make me do right, you can make me do wrong. I'm your puppet. Treat me good, I'll do anything. I'm just a puppet, and you hold my string. I'm your puppet. I'm your puppet. I'm your walking, talking, living, loving puppet. I'm hanging on a string, or I'll do anything. I'm your puppet. I'm your puppet.
That's Muscle Shoals right there.
That's it.
That's
That was great.
amazing.
How smooth is Kelvin Holly on a guitar?
Well,
oh
he
my
thinks
goodness.
he's pretty smooth.
Does he think he's
Yeah,
pretty
he
smooth? There you
thinks
go.
he's smooth. Kelvin's great.
Man, that was awesome.
Kelvin should be a superstar. He is a superstar.
Oh, wow.
Kelvin has something I love to say that David and I quote you all the time. David and I'll be somewhere like a nice restaurant
Yeah.
or something, and we'll go, "This is just like the big time, only smaller." we quote Kelvin on that all the time. So it's like he says these things, and they're like earworms, you
That's
know. And
great.
hey, we just got a text from Roger Hawkins. He's with us today, and he sends his love and wants you to give money to the Muscle Shoals Music Foundation. And David, he said that you and Patterson look marvelous. We do. Which is a true fact. So we're just glad that Roger, I feel like he's in the room with us. He is in the room with us. He's on my phone.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
We love you, Rod. Need to
we
cut
love you, Roger Hawkins. We sure do. He calls me Mom and David Dad for some reason. I don't know. All right, so we got to show some love.
That's right.
To our man Bill.
And again, just want to remind everybody, the silent auction website is on the Muscle Shoals Sound Facebook page. And again, the phone number, if you want to call directly, 256-978-5151. Some important people making this possible and also contributing. Lyons HR, proud to be a platinum sponsor of the Swamp-A-Thon. As a dedicated musician, Bill Lyons, thrilled to be part of today's event. We thank him very much for that. Lyons HR handles all aspects of payroll services, from payroll processing, employment timekeeping systems, tax and lien garnishments, and more, and certified by the IRS and accredited by the Employer Services Assurance Corporation. Lyons HR is in the top 5% of professional employer organizations throughout the country. LyonsHR.com, and that is LYONSHR.com. And Judy, we have a lot of other big people, important people that have helped us out here in big ways.
We sure do. We sure do. We'll be talking more about our sponsors, and Carrie will be here from the Music Heritage area to talk with us later as well. We're going to watch a video right now of Jay Buchanan. He's in Long Beach, California. He's with the Rockers' Rival Sons, who recorded the songs he's about to sing in this room when it was on their album Feral Roots, which was produced by Dave Cobb, and Dave Cobb is on the Muscle Shoals Music Foundation board, and he has so many Grammys for producing. He probably had to build another house.
Probably.
Or something. I mean, every year on the Grammys we go, well, what's Dave going to win this year? Because you know he's going to win something. But he's been so generous, helping us out with buying equipment and getting what we need to make this studio more professional. But anyway, so he produced what you're about to see, and this particular album, Feral Roots, was actually nominated for a Grammy that same year too. So are we ready to cue that up?
It's a song we recorded right there at the studio. It's a couple years back. Yeah, I've been gone a long time, but I'm back where I belong now. Yeah, I've been out of my mind, but I'm back and feeling strong now. Good friends are hard to find, yeah. Sure know that you're one of mine, yeah. Now I'm calling you out 'cause I got to say thank you. You stood by me when I said I didn't need you. out so far that you couldn't see my head on the water. Yeah, that's when you jumped in to swim twice that and further. Good friends are hard to find. Sure that you're on mine, yeah. Now I'm calling you out 'cause I got to say thank you. You stood by me when I said I didn't need you. So I'm calling you out 'cause I got to say thank you. You stood by me when I said I didn't need you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So this next song right here, it's one of my favorite songs from the Rolling Stones. Probably one of my favorites in general. When I was fortunate enough to get in there into the studio on our first day tracking, you're walking around and you're just flooded. You're flooded with so much history is just reaching out to you. I thought about this song in particular. I thought, oh, big shoes to fill in the studio. So, for all of my friends down there, this is Wild Horses.
Childhood living is easy to do. The things that you wanted, I bought them for you. Graceless lady, you know who I am, and you know I can't let you slide through my hands. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. Wild horses couldn't drag me I watched you suffer, dull aching pain, and now you've decided to show me the same. No sweeping exits, off stage each line could make me feel better or treat you unkind. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. I know I dreamed you a sin and a lie. I have my freedom, but I don't have much time. Faith has been broken, and tears must be cried. Now let's do some living after we die. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. Wild, wild horses couldn't drag me away. Wild, wild horses couldn't drag me away. Wild, wild horses, gonna ride them someday.
See you guys soon.
All right, we're back.
That's absolutely.
Hey, Greg,
Yes.
we're having fun, aren't we?
This is such a blast.
We are
I
having
mean,
fun.
I love this.
That's how we roll. Well,
It-
we put the fun in fundraiser.
I know,
That's
absolutely.
what we do.
I'm getting text messages. I checked my phone a while ago from friends, and they're just going, "You're just losing your mind, aren't you? Being in the same room with some of these people." And I went, "Yes,
It is awesome just
I
being in
am.
the room with people.
I know."
It's
Well,
kinda
that's a big
fun,
thing
you
too.
know.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
we've talked a lot about the history of Muscle
Mhm.
Shoals
Absolutely we
music
did.
today. And I just want to make sure that our people watching this know that we have a present and a future that's very strong. There's a lot going on in Muscle Shoals right now. And so we've got an example of that. We've got Justin Holder here, drummer extraordinaire. And he's with us today, and I want him to talk more about the future. But first of all, I'd like to give a tip of the hat to your father. You come by your talent honestly.
I do. My father was a very, very talented musician around here. He owned a studio. So when I was a kid, I'd be practicing, and I'd come out, and all of a sudden, boom, there's the horn section. The Muscle Shoals horn section in my little garage. Or
Wow.
Jimmy Johnson was always at the house, bending down, going, "I'm hearing good things about you, Justin." Better. I'm hearing good
And
things
your
about
father
you,
was
Justin.
Joey.
My father was Joey Holder, worship leader around town, and just an amazing piano player. Toured with Will McFarlane for years, so I grew up carrying their cases and and doing all that. Kind of
Now
stuff
Will
as a
should
kid.
carry yours, I
Mhm.
think. Will should carry your cases now. The drums are
His
big.
bag's better than mine, I'll tell you that. But yeah, it's just an honor to be a part of all this kind of stuff. I really wanted to be a studio musician. I watched my father do it my whole life, and so I would do my homework and watch him recording, and I don't know, it's just something a part of me. And moving down here with the influence of guys like Roger Hawkins, Roger Clark, Bebop Evans, all these guys around here, I wanted to grab a little bit from each one of them and find something that's Justin Holder. And I'm still figuring that out, It takes a long time, I think, to figure out who you are. But Kelvin Holly was the guy. I would come in and go, man, I've got to do this lick like rock. I got to do this like this person or this person. He said, just be you. And I'm still figuring out what that means, but it's what I do best. And we're doing our darndest to keep this legacy alive. A lot of my young friends are writing every single night. They lock themselves over at the studios, and they're churning out music. And, it's just an honor to be a part of this. So.
Well, it's an honor to have you here, and I appreciate you donating your time today.
Absolutely.
To help us keep this dream alive.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait. I hope some of those songs are recorded in this room and they win Grammy after Grammy after Grammy that your friends are writing.
Fingers crossed.
Hey, that's happened in here a time or two. So
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, and I understand that you're about to tie the knot there, Justin.
Yes, I am next month.
How did you get a woman that beautiful to marry you?
She stalked me, actually.
I've seen her. Oh, really?
That's a story, and
It's
he's
kind of a
sticking
funny
to
story,
it.
but I think I sang a song to her one night while we were playing. I sing and play guitar in another band called Drum and Drummer, and she walked in and I sang a song to her, and she remembered that for years. So
wow. Good
stars
job,
aligned, and we have a cool little story.
Well, that's a good story.
And she's my queen. So
well, I'm glad. Good, and you continue to treat her that way, and and everything will be fine.
Exactly.
David and I've been married 34 years. Yeah, because he knows what to do. You know. Well, thank you so much for your time, Justin. We love you to pieces, and we're so glad you're part of this team. And we know we're going to be seeing great things from you because we already have.
Well, thank you, and everybody donate, buy stuff. This is such a cool studio. I mean, you want to talk history? There's a smell in these places. Not a bad smell. It's just history. You know what I mean? You could smell it in the wood, the other studios, sand in the wall. I mean, there's just different things. It's such a cool history that we have here that has to keep going.
Yes, amen to that.
And the one of the ways you can do it, the silent auction, is on the Muscle Shoals Sound Facebook page. The phone number, which I should have committed to memory, but I'm old and I don't, 256-978-5151, 256-978-5151.
All right, and David Hood is in the room, y'all, and he's the brains behind this operation. He knows. He named it. Come, get by the mic.
Yeah, go have a seat in the chair over there, David.
Yeah. Yeah, David named the studio.
When we left Fame Recording Studio, we bought this.
You need to get a little closer to the mic.
We bought this studio from Fred Beavis, who it was a 4-track studio mainly for gospel and demos, I think. And he approached Jimmy and Johnson and Roger Hawkins about buying the studio, and we were working together as a rhythm section at Fame Recording Studio. And so Jimmy and Roger approached Barry Beckett and me to join with them in buying the studio. And we did. After we bought the studio and signed the papers or whatever it was, we couldn't think of a name, and we thought a bunch of terrible names. There's a pine tree out in the parking lot. We thought, well, Lone Tree Studio. And we threw out all these names, and since we had left Fame, we knew Rick Hall was going to be really mad at us. And I thought, well, look, let's name it Muscle Shoals Sound, because we're not really in Muscle Shoals, we're in Sheffield, but it's part of the Muscle Shoals area, but I knew that would kind of get to Rick. And we all laughed and went home, and the next morning we came back together, and we all agreed that's the name, Muscle Shoals Sound. And that's what it is.
And will be for many, many, many years, because these people are going to give us money today. So tell us what it was like playing with Roger Hawkins.
Oh, Roger. Whew. I'm Roger was such a great influence on me. I didn't really know what anything was as far as rhythm and things like that. When they mentioned "Loan Me a Dime" by Boz Scaggs, we played that, and that song shifts from one tempo to another and one time code to another. Crazy. And it was Roger and Dwayne Allman and Jimmy Johnson and Barry Beckett and all the musicians around here. And I'm thinking, oh my Lord, I hope I don't screw up. Because Roger was, I followed Roger. And as long as you follow Roger, you're good. You're really good. And I later learned what I was doing, but at that time I was just hanging on by my fingernails, trying to stay with the band, because it was such a great band, and I didn't want to mess up in front of them. You're the ones that you really don't want to mess up in front of are your bandmates.
Because they have long memories.
Yeah, they do.
They tend to have long memories. How did you feel about it when you walked into this studio when we finally had it renovated and restored with the funk intact but cleaned up? How did that feel?
Well, for one thing, when we were here in 1969 through 78, everybody smoked except for me. And so every ashtray in the building was full of cigarettes and cigarette butts. And I've got a great picture that somebody sent me just recently of Barry sitting at the piano with his cigarette hanging off his lip and an ashtray full of butts. And so now when I walk in here, I don't smell that horrible smell. And it looks great. It looks just like it did back in the day, except cleaner.
Yeah. And we'll fix that.
I think they're doing a good job keeping it clean
Get it dirty.
and nice. It's a great little room. So much history was made in this room. It's just unbelievable. In fact, when I go and look at the discography of all the things we did, I think, how in the world did we do that? But we were all very dedicated. Our goal was not to make a lot of money. It was we all really wanted to hear ourselves on the radio coming back to us, music that we recorded next to the other great music of the day. That was really our goal more than anything, is just to be up there with Simon and Garfunkel and Booker T and the MGs and all the other people that were current during that time. And we did it.
Yeah, I would say you did. And David's still working in the studio. He's got his little corner over there where he always worked and where he's still.
It's harder for me to fit in that corner now.
I
don't know, but it's a very small room, and where I am, every time you open the door, it kind of closes me off in my little section. So lately, when I record here, I'm out in the middle of the room. But at that time, that was the place to be because of the sound leakage and then the acoustics and stuff.
Right.
We had to, once we got it set up like we wanted it, it stayed that way because there was very few options as far as being able to move things around.
How important is it to you that this studio stay viable and alive?
It needs to. This is a shrine to American music.
It is that.
And I have to mention, we were so fortunate to work with some great producers who are like the head guy on every recording session. Jerry Wexler, Tom Dowd, Arif Mardin. There's so many. Rick Hall. I can't leave him out. He later came and worked here with us. But those producers taught us what was expected in the real world, in the big world. And we borrowed money from Jerry and Atlantic Records to buy this place. They really helped us very, very much.
Jerry was a mentor to all the Swampers.
Jerry was a mentor to all of us and a special friend to me. And when Judy and I got married, he performed our wedding ceremony.
On April Fool's Day.
On April Fool's Day. And we're still there.
Yeah, 34 years ago.
Yeah.
So, and they said it wouldn't last. So there you go. But he was a good friend, and his spirit is all in this room. You can feel Jerry in this room. There's so many great, talented.
Yeah, Jerry would leave a suitcase packed with his clothes, either with me or Jimmy Johnson, and he'd come to town carrying just whatever he had in his hand and go get his suitcase from one of us. Sometimes he would stay at my house. Sometimes he would stay with Jimmy or Barry. But he was very much at home here. I think he considered this his second home. He was a New Yorker and then later a Miami person and then Sarasota. But if you ever talk to him, you know he's a New Yorker.
Yeah, definitely. What a friend! What a great person! And what was it that he said he wanted on his gravestone, his epitaph?
Was it Turn Up the Bass?
Yes. I thought I might have that on mine too. I like that. Not to steal that from Jerry. David, thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Miss Hood.
Hey, I want to ask one question since we got the
Sure.
opportunity here with David. Do you, at this point, do you take a moment, or are you the type of guy that takes a moment to reflect on the front row seat you had for the history that you watched?
When I'm in here and I'm working, I'm not in here. I'm living in my mind, I guess, and I don't really think about it then. But when I'm at home or somewhere where I can, the greatest thing, and Judy has heard this 1,000 million times, is when something we recorded comes on the radio. I say, that's me, and she knows that's me. But I still get a thrill out of that, and that was the thing that I was looking for from the very start, was being able to hear myself on the radio. And it's still a thrill, I promise.
And it's a thrill for me when he hears it because it's a happy moment in our house.
We really appreciate Greg coming and working with us on this.
Yeah.
We need
we needed a pro.
Well,
a
I should have
voice.
brought Jerry over if you needed a pro. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity, David. I'm just honored to be here.
Yeah, well, we love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
He's in my living room every afternoon at 5.
There you go.
You and Jerry and Jason are
Well,
hanging out at the Hood Mansion.
Well, no, it's really a funny thing. I'll tell the story real quick before we talk to Carrie here. So we went to Jerry Hayes. For those of you that are out that aren't from Alabama watching this, he's an anchor where I work at WHNT, and so we were at the Alabama Music Hall of Fame inductee ceremony. And Judy walks up to me and she goes, "David's here and he really wants to meet you and Jerry." And I'm like, I look at Jerry and I go, "David Hood really wants to meet us? Are you kidding me?" And I said, "Well," so we just stopped what we were doing when we went over there. So Jerry and I, there's more than once a week we'll go, don't screw up because David Hood's watching us. I mean, we say that. I mean, we really say that. And so anyway, I mean, I just appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Well, thank you, Greg. We appreciate it. You really have.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, David. I want to give a shout out to my stepdaughter, Lila, because we're always out doing things, and she's the reason that we ever get anywhere on time or eat or that the family ever gets together. So we love you, Lila. And she's a star in her own right.
Absolutely.
All right, we got Carrie here.
All right. Okay, Carrie, I'm going to let you hold that mic.
Okay.
And I'm loud, so if I have a question, it'll both pick me up. You can use that mic.
First of all, thank you so much
You're
for supporting us today, because you've been hanging with us for a while. So
Yes, ma'am.
You know how important this is
Yes,
to our community and to
It
the
is.
music history here.
It is. So I'm the director of the Muscle Shoals National Heritage Area, and we interpret the history of our 6 counties in Northwest Alabama, and we focus on 3 main themes, one of which is music history. So I've been in Florence for about 9 years now, and with the Heritage Area for 4.5 years, and I have learned so much about just the incredible music tradition here, and not just what happened in the studios, but in our communities, and we really work to support music and music performance, as well as document that history.
That's right, and you're doing a great job too.
Well, thank you.
I love the way you've got it all set up on your website and the photos and everything. But Carrie always steps up for us. When we did our very first fundraiser, we had it outside. That was back when people got together and did things, and it was a lot of fun. And then, of course, in 2020 we didn't get to do it, but in 2019 we did. And Carrie was one of the first people to step up, the Heritage Area. to help us with that, and we appreciate it. And you're a good friend of Shoals Fest.
Yes,
And,
I'm so excited that it's coming back this
yeah,
year.
we're excited too, and you guys were such a big help last time, so we appreciate that. I mean, not just the money, but they showed up and actually worked. You should try that sometime. It's called work. Yeah, yeah. Why would you ruin it with work? But do you want to tell us a little bit of your mission? I know it's to interpret the history, but
And who consumes it? How is it consumed? That sort of thing.
So the National Heritage Area program was started in the 1980s, and it was a way to think about interpreting historical and cultural and natural resources in largely lived-in landscapes. So we're funded by the National Park Service, but we're not a national park. But we're doing a lot of the same types of work that they do. And so we have a number of projects that we coordinate through our office. That are connected to our music story. So we have a project called the Roots of American Music Trail, which has stops throughout the Shoals. And we actually just added a stop over in Athens to talk about the Old Time Fiddlers Convention, but talks about the history of music in our 6-county region. We also do projects related to historical documentation. So we actually worked on the National Register nomination for Fame Studios. And now we're actually helping them to replace the siding on the studio, which is very exciting.
Yes,
that's a big grant for
these
that.
studios require some maintenance.
They do. They
and
do.
they've got their 60th anniversary celebration this year. So we had Rodney here earlier. So we're excited to celebrate that with them.
Yeah. So. And then we help sponsor, live music. I'm excited that the Gold Record Room is coming back.
Yes, last year, First Fridays fell by the wayside because of the big COVID. But we're going to crank up again in June. And thanks to the generosity of Carrie and her team, we will be able to have live music and pay the musicians.
Yes.
A decent amount of money even. So that's
important to
really
us.
exciting for us. So the first Fridays will begin the first Friday in June, and we'll go through December. We're already got bands booked, and we're ready to rock the Gold Record Room. It's going to feel good, isn't it?
It will.
Get back
it's going
in
to feel
there.
really good.
And we appreciate Marty Abrams and Bill Lyons for giving that room to this community. It's an amazing venue, and it's going to be fun to see people in it again.
Yes, anything with people right now.
That's
feels
right.
Good.
I'm all over that.
So people that are on the live stream listening to this, like, what's the web? Give the website, the nuts and bolts they need to know.
Yep.
Here.
So you can find the Heritage Area on our websites, msnha.una.edu. And then you can find us on Facebook and Instagram. It's Muscle Shoals NHA on both of those. So if you follow us, you'll see lots of beautiful pictures of our 6-county region.
They really are. Where do you get all those? Those are beautiful.
We have a couple of photographers that we work with.
Abraham
Rowe does a lot of work with us, and he actually does a lot of music photography for us. So he did. We had a grant from the Alabama State Council on the Arts to document music, especially younger musicians in the Shoals community. So he did that last year with us, and we send him out during Handy Fest to get lots of good pictures.
Yeah, he gets amazing shots.
Yeah.
So how important is it for people to help us financially today?
Oh, it's very important. I think that this studio and the story and the history that it represents is, it's so fundamentally important to the story of the Shoals. And so I really encourage everyone to donate, to support the studio and the Muscle Shoals Music, Muscle Shoals Sound Studio. And, I think, again, that we need to make sure that this history is preserved. And
you're doing your part, so we appreciate it.
So everybody else do your part, too.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Carrie has challenged you.
Yes.
There's a couple of ways you can do that. The phone number again. Oh, thank you. The phone number again, 256-978-5151. 256-978-5151. And the silent auction, the link is on the Muscle Shoals Sound Facebook page. And, we're streaming there obviously now, but it's on the Facebook page.
And the auction's getting hot. Yeah.
The numbers are pretty good. You
Yeah,
can get that Jason
liking those
Isbell autographed
numbers.
guitar. There
Somebody
are.
keep bidding on that guitar. Tracy might have a special.
That's right. She's got some incentives going
She
there.
does have some.
There's a lake house, 4 nights at a lake house you can bid on. There are things.
There's a David Hood guitar.
There's a David Hood guitar you can bid on. There are albums that have Jimmy Johnson and David Hood's signatures on them. That just blows my mind that those are that people can bid on that. So there's a Drive-By Truckers jacket. It's autographed by Patterson.
Right.
And Patterson is going to do we're going to take a break here in a little bit, but Patterson's going to do a set when we come back from that break too. So there's just a lot out there in a lot of ways you can help. You can help participate in the effort.
We appreciate you coming by, Carrie.
Thank you,
so much.
Carrie. It's awesome. Appreciate it. Do we want to hit the folks that have helped us out? Is that what we want to do? Oh, here we go. On the screen here. And again,
here's the auction.
Yeah, here's
Hey,
the silent auction. Right now, the J sign. Here's the Clarksdale, Mississippi Ground Zero, and I've been there. That place is incredible. Wedded Bliss package. Shoals sound is actually Mary's. Absolutely. But again, Rock the South tickets, David Hood's donated bass guitar. Yeah, you can go ahead and click on that. Go ahead and click if you want. But David Hood's got an autographed bass that people can bid on. And again, this is a one room for 2 nights at the Ground Zero Blues Club. And I'm telling you, this is one of the more unique things. When you check in there, Judy, they tell you when you sign in that we don't take noise complaints. Because the places people stay are over the stage.
Yeah.
And they go, we don't take noise complaints. But
So I'd be welcome to stay there. Then.
absolutely. But again, there's just a lot of stuff there that's tremendous. That's on, again, this link is on the Muscle Shoals Sound Facebook page. The Shenandoah signed guitar, and again, there on the bottom left, you see David Hood's autographed bass guitar, and the bid on that right now is a little over $2,000. But there's just such cool stuff here, and that's available for people to get.
Yes. So get online and shop.
Absolutely. I'm glad they popped that up so we can take a look at it.
It's a music collector's dream.
I know it is.
Really.
If you're, man, this is nuts. If you're into memorabilia, the opportunity you have right now, you don't get very often.
Right,
So
that's
this is
true.
tremendous.
That's true because David Hood actually parted with a bass.
Which
so
you said that he
he's never
doesn't
done
do that very.
No, he won't even sell them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like kids to him.
Yeah,
He won't
wow.
Sell them.
Wow.
So this must have been, his least favorite kid. I don't know. No, David likes his bass a lot.
You may have had some influence with
I
on
was
this.
proud of him. David, he's part of the heart and soul.
Yeah,
of
absolutely
This
he
place. I
is.
mean, the Swampers are the reason. If they had not done, what they did.
Well, here's the thing. I just love the answer, and that's why I asked him the question a while ago about when y'all are in the car and he hears something he played on. He goes, "I played on that."
He does, and he still does. He's like a little
Yeah.
kid. He's like, I played on that, and I get so excited. And we don't have small kids in the house now. We have dogs, and so I'll tell the poodles, "That's your daddy on the radio right there," and they've gotten where they know what that means.
They know what that means.
Yeah.
They
So do we
perked
get
up.
a treat? What? But it is fun to see, and he should be proud.
Absolutely.
He should be happy. And
What a
so-
place in history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
they didn't know they were making history.
Yeah.
They were just coming to work
Yeah.
and doing what they do.
And again, what we're doing today is, 85% cut in business with COVID, and what we're doing today is raising money to sustain what goes on here. And again, 256-978-5151. The link's on the Muscle Shoals Sound Facebook page on the silent auction.
Yes, great.
We want to go through some people that helped us out, or
Yes.
do we want to mention the board because we were supposed to mention
Yeah,
the board?
we've mentioned them a few times, but I can't say enough good things about them.
Let me tell you, the board members, it's a 501c3 organization. Donations are tax deductible. I want to remind you of that. Judy, the chair of this effort and driving force with putting today's effort together. Aubrey Preston, Jerry Phillips, heard from Jerry today. That was great to hear from Jerry. And so far, Jerry's leading the competition for best jacket worn.
he
I'm
is.
telling you what.
I have jacket envy.
I do too. Stephen Badger, Billy Reed, Kenneth Brooks, Dave Cobb, Rodney Hill, and Ian Sanford,
Yes.
the board. And oh, go ahead.
And Aubrey Preston,
Mm-hmm.
who's on our board, he does a lot of amazing philanthropic things, and he won't tell you about them
Wow.
usually.
Yeah.
But I have to just rat on him on one.
Yeah.
He's a good friend of ours, but when RCA Studio A was about to be bulldozed, it was coming down and condos were going up. And so Aubrey tried to form this consortium of people to save it. And they couldn't quite, get the deal together. And so it was literally like the cranes were pulling up one Friday. And mysteriously, $5.6 million shows up.
Wow.
And it's saved. So he wouldn't want to brag about that, but I think that's an amazing story. And it shows you his commitment to preserving music and music history. And so I'm so glad he's on our board. He's kind of my business brain.
Yeah.
He's like he's always coaching us, and he talks in these parables, And because he does, unintelligent people like me can understand what it is he's trying to express. But we really do appreciate him. And Stephen Badger, we can never say enough good things about him.
Right.
If Stephen Badger had not, he brought us a miracle. He brought us a miracle. I mean, that's all it can be. We didn't do anything to deserve this movie. We didn't recruit it. He came to town and felt the magic.
Wow.
And felt compelled to tell the story. And boy, did they tell the story.
Wow.
The first time we saw the documentary was when it debuted at Sundance Music Festival. And we didn't know what to expect. They'd been working on it 2 or 3 years, and hundreds and thousands of hours of footage, and with David and Jimmy and Roger and the guys. And you know me well enough to know it. I'm rarely speechless, but David and I sat in that auditorium that night, and we were just astounded at that it was accurate, because so many times people do, but it was accurate, but it was also beautiful. And the state tourism director fell in love with it because he sees it not as just a story of our music, but a 90-minute commercial for the state of Alabama.
Absolutely.
Because the cinematography was stunning. It was such a great representation of our area. And part of the reason is the cinematographer for the film worked on Avatar.
Yeah.
So Stephen brought in the A-team, and they really put in. We love you, Stephen, and I need everybody to buy a lot of M&Ms, okay, and Mars dog food. I want. He supported us, so let's support him. So
awesome.
yeah, so we have an amazing board, and of course Billy Reed put our stuff on social media today to help us, get the word out. So we got a great board.
Absolutely. Some other folks involved. Platinum sponsor for today's event, Lions HR, now offers commercial insurance through their sister company, Aligned Insurance. They're, again, platinum sponsor today. Whether you need workers' comp insurance, general liability, auto, or equipment protection, Lions HR can assist your business with total insurance protection. You can contact Lions HR through their website to receive a quote, a complimentary cost comparison. Lions HR, the website is lionshr.com, and the spelling on that is LYONSHR.com. And then some of the other folks helping us out today, we want to go through Bank Independent. Bank Independent, hometown bank and supporter of all things Muscle Shoals Sound. City of Sheffield, where Muscle Shoals Sound lives. And City of Muscle Shoals, a town that is known around the world as the hit recording capital in the world. Muscle Shoals National Heritage Area, Florence Lauderdale Tourism, Bill Alexander State Farm Agent, Steve Pierce State Farm Agent, Marriott Shoals Hotel and Spa, Champy's Chicken, Kenneth and Tony Brooks.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank
Absolutely.
you to all of you who are donating, because we're seeing that is happening in a big way, and we appreciate that. And keep it coming, and we'll keep the music coming if you'll help us keep this studio alive.
Absolutely. And want to remind everybody, anybody that donates over $500, you'll be entered into a drawing for a 2-night stay and Nashville, Memphis, and the Shoals. So that's all three. So like one person's going to get all of that. So 6 nights total. 2 nights in Nashville, Memphis, and the Shoals. That's anybody donating over $500.
That's like a musical mystery tour right there. That
Absolutely.
would be an amazing.
We're going to take a break here in a little bit, and when we come back from that break, though, Patterson Hood's going to do a set, which is going to be tremendous, and then all these other musicians you've seen all day long, they're going to be back as well. So,
there's other surprises up our sleeve.
Yeah, and these events like this, where all these musicians are in the same place, at some point it takes on a covered tent revival feel when they start cranking up everybody,
right.
And that's what this thing is headed toward.
Yeah.
Just want to tell you,
we're going to wax evangelical.
Yeah, absolutely. But
definitely before it's over.
Yeah, and Patterson's going to be out here with some music as well. He's going to do a set.
Yeah, so that's going to be fun. Are we ready to queue up Tim Easton?
And Tim Easton has recorded 10 solo records, and he recently toured Muscle Shoals Sound. He was moved by his visit here and asked how he could help, and so he recorded. He was kind enough to record Deep River Blues by Doc Watson. His latest release is called Exposition.
We're going to hear it right now.
Absolutely.
Well, we're not, but.
This great piece of American history, and let's keep the recordings going, shall we? This is a little song about water.
River Blues.
Thank you, all you friends of Muscle Shoals. Click that link now. Peace.
So I know they caught me with the mic. It
What,
could have
were
been a
we-
whole lot worse.
Were we saying something that could be a problem?
It could have been a whole lot worse. Thank God they did it when they did it. But I was just talking about this room we're in.
Yeah, it's spectacular.
Everybody that comes in here feels the vibe, and I've taken thousands of people to this room, and it's not at all unusual for a grown man to break down and cry in here. And I think it's because there are so many amazingly talented people in this room. You can't have that many people over that many years, that much great things, and not have some residual mojo.
Well,
and people feel that vibe.
Exactly. Well, like Keith Richards, Dwayne Allman, Art Garfunkel. I mean, it's just all these people that have been in here. I mean, you know, it's just, not to mention the fact that we've just been the people that we've been seeing all day today.
Yeah.
You know.
And we are open for tours Tuesday through Saturday from 10 until 4.
Absolutely. Do we need to tell them what we need? Do we need to hit anything else before we tell them what we're going to do? Like, do we need to?
Okay.
We need to just remind you the link for the silent auction is still on the Muscle Shoals Sound Facebook page. You can still call 256-978-5151.
And we're going to take a 30-minute break and come back, but we want everybody to stay tuned because we've got a lot more excitement ahead.
Absolutely. A lot more live music coming. Patterson's going to do a set. It's going to be great.
Yeah, we're going to have the Muscle Shoals All-Stars out here to
Yeah.
do a grand finale, so don't want to miss that.
That's all right. All right, so we'll take a break. We'll see you in a half hour.
When they first said they were doing this, I said, do you think they're going to think we're making fun of what?
It's somebody doing fire